Hello and welcome in, folks. This is the 468th episode of the Dean Wither Show. For everybody joining us on this fine evening, if you're out there on the East Coast, I think it's past 5, so we'll call it evening. Thank you so much for being here. You are in for a treat. The debates today are going to be crazy. If you're new here, welcome in. As I was saying, these streams get a little bit wild. These streams get a little bit crazy. As I was in, let me finish. You know what? Matter of fact, let me finish the last sentence I was trying to get out. If you're new here, lock in because you're in for a wild ride. We debate Trump supporters for 4 hours a day, 7 days a week. We attempt to foster productive, critical dialogue about the state of American politics, but all too often we end up getting the most insane people alive on the stream. But see, the thing is I couldn't finish that sentence because we were interrupted by the first Trump supporter of the day that I'd asked to be patient while I hit this intro, literally pissing in front of over 20,000 people on TikTok, plus all of those tuning into the YT stream. So, frankly, I guess there's no better way to describe what these streams are about than maybe, the last minute and a half. We're going to go ahead and try to get that very first Trump supporter of the day connected to the broadcast to have a dialogue with us. If you are a Trump supporter, head over to TikTok, hop inside of that queue if you do happen to be an American adult that supports Trump. The breaking news of the day is that we've finally gotten the judge's ruling that has been long time anticipated in a major anti-Trump case. This revolves the verdict in 2023 that Trump raped or sexually abused a woman by the name of Jean Carroll. I'm sure you are all familiar, if you stay involved with politics, that Trump fought tooth and nail to appeal the outcome of that court case until he finally requested that the Supreme Court hear his appeal, in which they rejected. In turn, the judge presiding over the original case has now ordered Donald Trump to pay $5 million to Jean Carroll for sexual abuse. He's still fighting tooth and nail to get that overturned. The first tactic that he is using to delay him having to pay her is arguing that, well, because he just hired a new lawyer, because the original lawyer on the case was appointed to be a federal judge by him, he's the president, the new lawyer needs time to get acquainted with the nature of the case. But see, that one's not going to work because the case has been over for 3 years. What is there to get acquainted with? And the second thing, that Donald Trump is trying to do here is petition the Supreme Court to reconsider their denial of his appeal. This is all, once again, just a tactic that Trump is using to attempt to delay the process of him being forced to pay the victim $5 million. But the end is in sight. It is inevitable. He will be forced to pay Jean Carroll $5 million. Car guy, how old are you?
I'm 16.
Banned. Hop inside of that queue if and only if you are an American adult that supports Trump as president. Also, for everybody tuning in, if you happen to be watching the live stream yesterday, you will know that we actually got a ban for being quote-unquote... you will know that we actually got a ban for being under the age of 18. We did get our account back, everybody, because trust me, I'm not a minor. But in turn, TikTok has now taken our ability to get gifts away. So no more grifting on TikTok, I guess. If you attempt to hit the gift button, it'll just say that the live creators turned off the ability to receive gifts. That's just a lie. So if you want to support me, maybe this is actually a good thing. You could find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in my bio and my TikTok account. Get 100% of those proceeds. Best way to support this stream, on God. It's basically like sending a gift, but you can also attach a message. So I guess maybe we'll only be grifting harder. I guess we'll have to see. But anyways, patriotic, do you support Trump?
Yes.
How old are you?
19.
What year were you born in?
2006.
And why do you happen to support the very worst president of your life, Mr. Wannabe Dictator Don?
He has good policies like the Tax Cuts and Job Act, the deregulation.
Is there any way that I could get you to speak with a little bit more energy? Just a little bit more energy.
I just naturally have a deep voice. It's kind of harder to speak with energy.
All right. So what's your favorite Trump policy?
The Tax Cuts and Job Act.
Are you sure that's... I really like that one from Trump. I'd give it a C- on a good day. Would you like to know why I don't really like that one from Trump?
You kind of sound like Joe Swanson. I'm not even gonna lie.
I paid her Like that, Joe Swanson?
Kind of.
Anyways, hey, listen, let's get back into the debate. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act was a good C minus. It did help the average American, but 85% of the tax cuts in the bill went to members of the top 1%. As well as it cost close to $2 trillion. So it cost a lot of money and it disproportionately helped rich people while not really doing much to the economy because Brookings, a financial institution, says that it didn't create any new jobs. And then two Harvard economists, one on the right, one on the left, said that it only had it only led to 0.3% GDP growth annually. But see, the thing is this economic policy got even worse in a second term with the big, beautiful bill that is projected to take healthcare away from 10 million low-income Americans, food stamps away from 3 million low-income Americans, while we're also reducing the purchasing power of the working class.
So, the first thing you said, it only helped the rich people. So are you referring to it only helped the rich people? And plus,
I can't do it. It's too low energy for me. I'm sorry. I'm kicking him. I'm sorry if that is like a controversial decision. I think I just need like a little bit more energy. And plus like the first thing that he said was just like a fundamental misunderstanding of what I said. What I told him is that although it did help the average American a little bit, it disproportionately helped rich people. Then what do we get a response? So you're saying that the bill only helps rich people? I don't know, man. Maybe I'm being a little bit of a hard ass today. Maybe I should be grateful that we just got a Trump supporter up in the queue at all because, frankly, this is like most of our guests just screaming children. So I don't know. Maybe I'll reconsider that decision. Maybe I was a little bit too hard on him. Maybe I shouldn't have kicked him. That's a contestable decision for sure. Let's go ahead and try to get that next guest connected. Only up inside of the queue if you do happen to be an American adult that supports Trump as president. Somebody inside of the chat says, I'm unsure that guy wasn't asleep. Yeah, no, that's definitely true. Welcome to Nora. Do you support Trump? Nora, hi. You have around 3 seconds to respond before I just block you. What do you want to tell me here? Do you support Trump or not?
How do you feel about Mar?
I'm going to go to take that as a no. Let's go to get the next guest connected. You are banned. We got Mag connecting to the live stream. Only up inside of the queue if you happen to be MAGA. Once again, for all of the friends joining in on TikTok, TikTok actually took away my ability to receive gifts on their platform. I think that they're trying to push me off of TikTok. Yesterday, they gave me a 5-year ban for being underage. Luckily, I have a couple insider friends, employees that work at TikTok that are able to help me out there to get my account back. But I woke up today to not having the ability to receive any gifts. I think their thought process is, oh, if Dean can't make money, then he'll be pushed off platform and he'll stop doing the streams. But anyways, if you do want to support the stream, can't support me on platform, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio on my TikTok account. Plus the handles, the ads at the top of the phone screen right there. It's just my name, Dean Withers, without the letter E in my last name, Withers. Just make sure to quadruple check that spelling. Welcome in. Key, do you support Trump?
I support certain things that he does.
Okay, if the election was held tomorrow between Trump and Harris, who'd you vote for?
That is really tough. Because the thing is, I don't think he's doing well. But I haven't seen anything to make me think Harris would do better.
Yeah, how old are you?
19.
19, what year were you born in?
2007.
Okay, and what's your favorite Trump policy? What do you think he's doing good at?
I just think that a lot of the things he believes in on the right, I stand by more than things people believe on the left. Like
Can you give me a couple
DEI
examples?
and things like that. DEI.
Okay, what's an example of DEI that Trump got rid of?
What do you mean?
I mean what I said. I mean, you're telling us here that you support this guy who's destroyed our economy, started needless wars of choice overseas, distanced ourselves from our allies, embarrassed us on the global stage because he's been able to take on the fight against DEI. So what's one actual example of DEI that existed in America that Trump was able to get rid of?
Well, is he not working? Is he not actively working right now towards making DEI a thing in the past? Hasn't he outspoken that he doesn't support
what's
it?
like one system of DEI that I guess he's working to get rid of? Like what's one actual real application of, you know, the rights description of DEI, giving jobs to people because of the color of their skin, that actually exists in America today that Trump is attempting to get rid of?
So are you saying DEI isn't a thing in America at all?
I'm asking a question. I'm asking you to please point us towards a specific system anywhere in our country that is hiring people because of their race that Trump is actively working on attempting to abolish. Just give me one example.
I couldn't give you an example. I don't know the name
Then how do
of
you
any
then how do you know
systems
this
he's
is
going
happening?
against.
How do you know
I just-
that this quote unquote DEI thing, where we're just giving jobs to black people because they're black, is actually happening? How do you know that's actually happening?
I'm not necessarily saying that it is currently a giant problem and Trump is currently fixing it super well. I'm saying that I support his stance on it, that it shouldn't be a thing. And I disagree with Democrats thinking that it should be a thing.
No. Okay, well, just point us towards it being a thing then. Because I think that this is just baseless fear-mongering from the right, where they're attempting to, I don't know, re-villainize black and brown people for about the trillionth time in the history of our country in order to win an election. I don't think that there really are companies that are giving jobs to black people because they're black. I don't really think that there are companies giving jobs to brown people because they're brown. I don't really think that there are systems that exist in this nation where we are preferring underqualified candidates for a job position merely because of their race or ethnicity. I don't think that's actually happening. I think it's a big old lie. I don't even think that's what DEI is. I don't think that's what DEI stands for.
Okay,
I don't
what do you
think that's
think
the way
DEI
that
is?
companies are including and advocating for equality.
What do you think DEI is then?
Well, I think the active participation and application of quote unquote DEI in the labor force is just companies just simply being mindful and intentional of not disparaging against black and brown applicants for job positions, because we have studies dating back, I don't know, forever now, that demonstrates that a black candidate is less likely to get a job than a white candidate with the same qualifications simply because of their race. Same thing with less likely to get a promotion. Same thing with more likely to get fired. And this is also represented via the disproportionate overrepresentation of non-black or brown individuals in many career fields. But the right says, well, what these companies are doing is they're actually just hiring people because of the race that don't have any qualifications over overqualified white candidates, and that's a lie. So I think that what you're telling us is that you support Trump because he's telling you he's going to tackle a problem that doesn't exist. And that's exactly why I don't support Trump, because I support tackling problems that actually exist. You want to know a couple problems that actually exist? The skyrocketing healthcare costs in our country, exacerbated by Trump taking healthcare away from so many. Or the skyrocketing rent and housing prices in this country, exacerbated by Trump intentionally attempting to make houses cost more, as he says, to quote unquote, build equity for homeowners. Okay? Meanwhile, we see progressive politicians focusing on what actually matters, like these social issues, like ensuring people have access to healthcare, like ensuring that individuals' basic dignities and human rights are respected, while also ensuring that life is more affordable for the average American. So tell me, what is a real issue that Trump is tackling?
So what I'm hearing, this is what's happening. I've seen some of your content. I feel like this is what happens a lot, is that if somebody brings up a good point about not just Trump specifically, but the right in general, about how this is a good point, this thing they believe in is good, it immediately goes to, oh, well, that doesn't matter because Trump did all these bad things. I'm not saying Trump is perfect or even good. I'm saying that some of the things he does or the stances he has, I agree with. And even though he does, if there's a bunch of other bad things, that's not, I can still say that this one thing is good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was a complete misrepresentation of what I just said. I did not say that what you said
we were
doesn't
talking
matter
about
because
DEI,
Trump is
and then
doing
out
all
of
these
nowhere
bad
you're saying,
things.
oh, Trump
What I'm
should worry
saying
about this
is that
and
this
this
isn't
and this
even
and
a
this.
real issue. Convince me this is a real issue by pointing me towards companies that are hiring underqualified black people over overqualified white people simply because the black people are black people. Point me towards that actually occurred. Convince me that this is a real issue that needs to be tackled.
It's not a huge issue. It's not something that people are dying over, but it's just a thing I fundamentally disagree with.
No. I didn't ask you to convince me that it's a huge issue. I asked you to convince me that it's a real issue. Don't change my words. Convince me that this is even happening. Convince me that this is even real. Convince me that this is anything more than lies and fear-mongering from a party that is trying to get your support over something that isn't happening because they aren't addressing the actual issues that are happening. That's what I'm asking you to do. Can you do that?
If you're asking me for a specific instance where DEI is happening a lot right now, I don't have a company name to list you, but I'm just saying that the people in the world who are mostly on the left who are pushing for that to be a thing in government,
who's pushing
and
for this to be a thing on the left?
Lots of people. You don't see the videos of senators arguing for it. You don't see the debates. Like you yourself have done debates on DEI. You argue for it.
Can you show? Oh, you're telling me that in the past I've argued for the notion that underqualified black candidates should get hired over overqualified white candidates. Can
You
you
were
point
just
me
doing
towards
that
a
to me a
clip of
little
me
bit ago when
saying?
you were saying that business are including people that have been disparaged in the past. Is that not
Okay.
you saying you agree with DEI as a system?
Wow, man, you're very misled. Let me try to help you out here. What I advocate for, okay, is diversity in the workplace via an intentional and conscious acknowledgement that historically and presently in this country, black and brown people are less likely to get accepted for a job over a similarly qualified white counterpart because of their race. Same thing with being more likely to not get a promotion or more likely to get fired, as proven by studies for the last couple hundred years, including recent studies from Harvard Research. That's me saying
So
that we need to
basically,
be
you
a
just
more.
defined DEI and said you support that, but you don't support DEI. You just defined DEI. You just said what it is.
Okay. Well, if you
You
take
just said it
DEI,
longer.
if you take DEI to be, if you take DEI to be cognizance and intentionality concerning systemic disparages for black and brown people in America, then you shouldn't support Trump because he's against it.
Are you saying he's pro DEI? What are you trying to convey here?
No, what I'm saying is that if you accept my definition of DEI, then Trump being against my definition of DEI would be a reason why Trump is a bad president, not a good president.
I think that because black people have been disparaged in the past, I don't think they need any repercussions or like awards now. I don't think that there's racism is a problem for them in the workplace. I think that for jobs where you're trying to get the best people to play the job, I don't think you should take race into account. I think if some business is looking out for the best people at their job, the most skilled people, if they all happen to be black, they should hire all black people. I don't think they should take it into account at all. I don't think it should matter.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. So then could you please respond to the study published in Investopedia that concluded that black women are just as likely to get callbacks as white men with felony convictions?
Black women with no felony convictions?
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's
Actually,
not good.
sorry, black
I'm
men.
not.
Black men without a criminal
Okay.
background were called back for interviews at the same rate that white men with felony convictions were on their applicants. And this is called the mark of a criminal record, published by Harvard.
Yeah, no, that's not good. I don't think that should be a thing. I don't know if that's prejudice or other reasons. There probably is some, but I don't
Okay.
think DEI
Okay.
is the solvent. Like,
Okay.
I think
So
that
how did I
just
how did
making
how did
race more
I
of a prominent
define
thing.
how did I define the application of DEI in the workforce? Could you repeat the definition I provided you?
It was something like black people who have been disparaged should look at the quality. I don't know, something. Just
Okay,
tell me.
so you don't even know what my definition of DEI was. I told you the practical
I heard it in
application
the
of
moment.
DEI in the workforce is just the intentional mindset that would include cognizance surrounding the disparagement of black and brown people within the workforce, with an active fight against that disparagement that would include ensuring that interviewers and companies are not rejecting job applications from black people merely because they're black, as we have identified that is an issue that does exist per the study from Harvard Research that I just gave you that demonstrated that black men with no criminal convictions were just as likely to get a call back as white men with felony criminal convictions. What's the issue with that?
Okay, what I would say is that
No. I
think
want you to
that
respond
DEI isn't
directly
the-
to what I just said. What's
what?
the issue with what I just said?
because I think making race a big topic we should work towards making a thing of the past. Like, I don't think DEI. Do you want DEI
I
to be a thing
agree.
forever? Do you want race to be a problem always?
The explanation that you just gave was not a counter to my argument. It was the affirmation of my argument, ensuring that companies and interviewers for job positions at companies are not giving preferential treatment to white job applicants over black job applicants is exactly what you just described. It is an advocation to make a consideration of race a thing of the past by ensuring that interviewers of companies for new job positions are not considering the race of white people compared to black people. That has led to the outcome of black men with no criminal convictions on their record being just as likely to get calls back as white men with felony convictions on their record.
I think that we're in a place in the world now where black and white people have the exact same rights. We've accomplished that. That's a good thing. But
Then
now the
respond to the
only
study that I
difference
just
between race
demonstrated
is
to you.
just Because I think that the more we make race an issue, the more racism will exist. I think creating solvents and talking about problems and just like making race a larger and larger controversial topic and talking about it and applying it to everything makes it more of a problem.
Oh, okay.
Because
So
people,
like,
people,
you're basically saying like the more that I advocate for like black and brown people and say that racism is this really big issue that we need to fix, the more I advocate for social awareness around my progressive convictions, the more you think society will be racist. So let me ask you a question. Do you think that society is more racist today than it was during slavery?
no, not even close.
It was much more racist during slavery, right?
Exactly.
Was there a higher percentage of people advocating for progressive causes that would include the abolishment of racism in America today or during slavery?
Abolishment of racism probably during slavery. It was like actually, no, I don't know, half the country during slavery, but now it's everybody except like 1% of people who are racist.
So answer the question. I just want to know from your perspective. Do you think that there are more people advocating for progressive causes that would include the fair treatment of black and brown people and the abolition of racism today or during slavery?
Today.
Okay, but you just got done saying the more that people advocate for progressive causes, including the abolition of racism, the more racist society will be. But then you went on to tell me that there are more people advocating for these progressive issues today than there were during slavery, yet society was significantly more racist during slavery. So it seems like your point is false, and in fact, the opposite is true. The more we advocate for widespread social acceptance of marginalized communities, inform and educate individuals on the systemic disparities that exist, the less racist society becomes. But you have still not told me the issue with DEI. I told you the application of DEI in companies is just simply an attempt to get companies and interviewers for job positions at those companies to not discriminate against black and brown applicants. And I gave you the evidence that companies do discriminate against black and brown applicants. And this is a real issue that impacts real people via the Harvard research study I granted you. And that gave good reason for why we should advocate for the abolition of this discrimination. And you're telling me that we should not advocate for the abolition of this discrimination. So answer the question clearly. Why should we not advocate for the abolition of the discrimination of black and brown Americans in the American labor force?
I think that hiring somebody that is black because the government told you to doesn't make you less racist of a person or get rid of racism.
Okay, now you are redefining what DEI is. You're defining DEI as hiring people merely because of their race, which means we're hiring underqualified black candidates over overqualified white candidates. I don't think that's actually happening. I don't think that's a real issue. Convince me otherwise by giving me evidence of that actually happening.
I don't have anything to cite for you. I don't have any evidence for you. I'm just
do you think that it's a good thing to believe things without evidence?
So,
just yes or no, please.
I don't.
You don't.
No, I do not.
Do you
But
believe that
people
companies in America, as pushed for by the left, are hiring less qualified black candidates over more qualified white candidates?
Yes.
Do you have evidence for that belief?
No, I do not.
So you just said that it's a bad thing to believe things without evidence. You went on to say that you do believe that companies are doing this. Then you went on to admit that you don't have evidence. Therefore, will you agree that it is therefore a bad thing for you to believe that companies are hiring underqualified black candidates over overqualified white candidates?
I don't think that's what's happening.
Okay.
I think
you said
I don't
that's
think
what's
I need to
happening
have
less than
written.
45 seconds ago.
Right. Okay. But what I'm saying, I don't think I need a written document. People debate about this all the time in the government. Is that not a good enough reason for me to believe it's real? That people advocating for it to be a thing, people advocating for it not to be a thing? I don't have a list in front of me of listing companies
that was your last argument. Your last argument was that people have advocated for this to be a thing. And then I asked you to name somebody that has advocated for this to be a thing. And you said, Dean, you have advocated for this to be a thing. I then gave you a description that rejects that conclusion. And I described to you how that's actually not what I'm advocating for. Then I told you what I'm actually advocating for. So not only have we determined that you lack evidence
when you
that
said what
companies
you
are
actually were
actually
advocating
doing
for,
this.
you just described DEI.
Okay. So then you do think me
You just
saying...
described what DEI was.
So just to clarify, you are saying that me stating companies should not hire white people over black people merely because the white person is a white person, the black person is a black person, you think that is identical to me stating that therefore they should hire underqualified black people over overqualified white people, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and explain why you think
that's not all you said.
That is
not all you said.
Why do you think that's an inference being made from the statement? Why do you think the statement we should not be hiring white people over black people because of their race is equivalent to the statement we should be hiring underqualified black people over overqualified white people because of their race? Why do you think that those statements are one and the same?
Those statements are not the same, but that's not all you said. You were just going about every single aspect of DEI, explaining why you support it.
So you accept that those two statements are different. Okay, well, I made the first statement.
Yes.
And you're saying that by me making the first statement, I'm advocating for what you and Trump makes or paints DEI to be, which is a preferential treatment for underqualified black candidates because of anti-white prejudice. Okay. Well, now you have failed to demonstrate any evidence that companies are hiring underqualified black people because of anti-white prejudice, and you have demonstrated yourself to be an unreliable source for the claim that, well, this is what people on the left say all the time, because you just accused me of saying that, and I just got you to concede that that's not what I was saying in the slightest. So at this moment in time, you have you have been unable to provide any good reason for us to believe that this is a real thing that is actually happening. You have been unable to provide any good reason that this is a fight that needs to be taken on against these vicious anti-white companies as argued for by the left. And you've just once again fallen down into the same rabbit hole that many Trump supporters before you and after you have of attempting to argue support of the worst president in modern American history over things that don't even happen, over issues that aren't even real. You want to know what is real? Trump destroying the economy. Every macroeconomic variable is worse off today than it was a year and a half ago under Biden. You want to know what is real? Trump starting needless wars of choice overseas. We have this terrible war in Iran that has shut down the Strait of Hormuz, led to the largest monthly increase in the price of gasoline since the Vietnam War in the 60s. And now we're offering them $325 billion just to get us out of this mess, to put us back to where we were before the war started, with no promise or signed deal from Iran that they're going to stop developing nuclear weapons. You want to know what is real? Trump's corruption, selling pardons, getting the federal government to promise to never investigate him or his family for tax frauds, raping E. Jean Carroll, being found guilty of 34 felonies, or giving full and complete presidential pardons to domestic terrorists that tried to kill cops on the steps of our Capitol on J6. Why don't we go ahead and focus on what is real compared to what is not real, that you have been able to not give us any good reason to believe is a thing that's actually happening as it related to your argument about DEI?
Okay, you were just doing the thing I was talking about earlier, where we were talking about one thing, and then you said that shouldn't matter because all these other things matter more.
No,
I'm not saying
that's
any of those
not
things
the
don't
argument.
matter.
I'm going to cut you off. I'm not saying that your argument about DEI does not matter because these other things matter more. I literally proved that your argument about DEI is not even real due to the fact that the thing that you were stating is happening is not happening, and you could not give any evidence otherwise. And then I went on to bring up about 1 billion issues that are real and things that are actually happening. There's a difference between me saying the issue you're arguing for isn't fucking real and it's not actually happening, and you saying I'm saying the issue that you're arguing for doesn't matter. There's a difference between something not being real and something being real but not mattering.
Okay, so fundamentally what it comes down to, something that you can't disprove or like cite against me, is DEI is a topic. Say it's not even real at all. There are lots of people who want it to be real and think it should be implemented, and I disagree. I think that it should not be a thing.
When you say that, no one could trust that you're telling the truth. No one can trust that the statement that you just made is accurate. Because when I asked you for an example of somebody that is arguing for it to be a thing, you said me, and then I gave you a description of my position, and I demonstrated to you that I'm not arguing for hiring underqualified black people because of anti-white prejudice. So the statement that you just made, that people are arguing for this to be a thing, is completely false and unreliable, and I've already proven that.
So are you telling me that you believe nobody on earth in our country supports DEI? That because I can't cite a person right now, you know that there's nobody. You don't know anyone? You don't know anyone who supports DEI and thinks it should be a thing?
What I'm telling you is that there's no mainstream political movement nor agenda held by any lawmaker in any state on the municipal, city, state, or federal level even that is advocating for policy to hire underqualified black candidates because of anti-white prejudice. That is a gross misrepresentation of the application in the labor force, as I've already demonstrated to you.
Every time you describe what you think DEI is, it's the same thing I think. We're not having different definitions.
You've already conceded otherwise because you told me that what you think DEI is hiring underqualified black people over more qualified white people, and then I reiterated to you. Okay, what do you take DEI to be?
I think DEI fundamentally is taking race into account in any way when hiring people for a job.
Okay. Well, it's actually weeding out the account of race in any way while hiring people for a job by ensuring that people don't hire white people over black people because of anti-black racism and a preference for white people, as demonstrated to be the case and to be actually happening per the study that I cited you that proved that black men with no criminal record were just as likely to get a call back from companies after an interview as white men with felonies on their criminal record.
So do you
That's a
think
consideration of race in the hiring process.
I believe that
anti-black racism, okay, that calling back black men with no criminal record just as much as white men with felonies on their record, that is an active consideration of race in the hiring process that is disparaging a race, aka black and brown people. Okay? DEI and its application to the labor force is just an advocation to eliminate and eradicate that issue. If you don't think that race should be a consideration of the hiring processes of companies, then you should be pro DEI.
Now, DEI, these people, I believe that it was from Harvard, whatever your site was, but these people who are hiring white felons more than black people without a criminal record. I believe that that's true, but that's not in the law. And I think making race a part of the law should not be a thing. I don't think that if these bosses who maybe have racism, they're a little bit racist and are making these bad hirings, I don't think making the law tell them that they hire people differently is going to make them not racist.
Okay, so you don't think that there should be any considerations of race in the law?
No, I don't.
So we should abolish the Civil Rights Act of 1964 that makes it illegal to kick somebody out of your privately owned business because they're black.
No, the civil rights should obviously still be a thing. I think the rights in the Constitution
many civil
should apply
rights,
to every color
many civil rights are explicit legal considerations of race, and you just said that we should abolish any explicit legal consideration of race.
If they want to change the law so that it doesn't mention color and includes everyone, like in the Constitution, how it seems like it's supposed to include everyone, but it didn't include black people right away, I think it should include everyone. I don't think they had to, because people were racist back then, they had to make laws to correct it. If they want to change it now and make all laws apply to everyone,
wait,
you're saying the laws including color.
When you're saying that there's an example of racism, we have to make laws to correct it. Okay, so an example of racism is people hiring white people over black people because the white people are white and the black people are black. Also, these quote-unquote laws, it was just one executive order from Biden that said, just ensure that the interviewers for job positions in the federal government aren't giving preferential treatment to white people because they're white. It was very vague. It was very general. There were no explicit punishments or explicit regulatory quotas or guidelines that had to be met. It was just enforcing an insurity through general and active campaigns for raising awareness around these disparities and discrimination that exists. And you know what?
So
I'm gonna finally ask you the best question ever, because I'm sure you're familiar with the argument that I've been making this whole time is that the issue you're painting is not a real issue in the slightest, and then you keep on misportraying that by saying, Dean, are you saying that this is just a small issue that doesn't matter as much as all these other issues? So here's the question. How has Donald Trump's attack on DEI made your life better in the last year and a half? Be specific.
It hasn't, but I can care about other people. You do the same.
How has Donald Trump's attack on DEI made anybody's life better in the last year and a half? Be specific.
It has probably made lots of black people's lives better who got jobs that they probably didn't deserve. If they needed DEI, there's a chance that someone else deserved the job.
So Donald Trump's attack on DEI in the last year and a half, you're saying has made black people's lives better by giving them jobs that they don't deserve?
Well, the thing is, if you use
What?
DEI, it probably means that you pick someone different than who you were going to pick
Wait,
anyways, or else the DEI wouldn't apply.
I don't think you heard my question. I
Say
asked
it.
you, how has Donald Trump's attack on DEI in the last year and a half made anybody's life better? Be specific.
If DEI was going away from Trump, then that would make the people who deserve jobs not getting them due to DEI. If that ever happens, that would be someone's life getting better because of Trump or whoever is attacking DEI. Doesn't really
Can
matter.
you give me an instance of this happening?
No,
Can you prove that this has happened at all?
no.
Is no evidence that it's happened at all?
I don't know anybody.
Okay.
I don't know anyone.
I want you to answer this question with a response that you could prove.
Okay.
How has Donald Trump's attack on DEI in the last year and a half made anybody's life better? Be specific.
I don't have something specific for you.
Okay. So just to clarify, the reason why you support the felon rapist as president who's destroyed the economy and disenfranchised millions is because of something that you can't prove.
No, something that you're not getting here is I'm not saying that Trump is doing a good job with this or that I believe everything Trump believes. I'm saying fundamentally I'm against DEI. I didn't come in here saying Trump's doing a great job. He's doing great with DEI. This is why. I'm just anti-DEI. I didn't even bring up Trump.
Okay. So you support Trump because you don't want underqualified black candidates to get hired over qualified white
You did it
candidates.
again. You did it again. I didn't say anything about Trump. I'm just talking about DEI as a fundamental topic.
Can you read the question on top of my head?
Tell me, how do you still support Trump? Okay. You want me to answer?
Do you understand that that's what the live stream is about?
This is a topic I agree with Trump on.
Okay. So you're saying that because you and Trump... Okay. Kamala Harris also did not think that underqualified black candidates should be getting hired over overqualified white candidates. Because that's not what
I would agree with her
DEI
then.
is.
I would agree with her then.
Oh, okay. So because it seems like both of the options in 2024 both agreed with this claim, this wouldn't be the reason why you would support one of the options over the other. Right?
If they agreed on the
Right?
topic, then yeah.
Okay, so then why do you
Correct.
support Trump today as president over somebody like Kamala Harris?
When they were being sworn in, or when they were running against each other, I 100% would have gone with Trump. Today, I don't think Trump's doing a good job, but I don't know if I would switch him out for Harris because I haven't seen Harris do anything that makes me think she'd be better. Her campaign seemed very disingenuous.
Wait, how about this? What has Trump done that makes you think he would be better than Kamala Harris?
I don't know. I have nothing to work off with Kamala Harris, I guess.
What do you have to work off with Trump?
Nothing. He's not
Okay.
doing great, but I
Wait,
think Kamala Harris
I'm
might be
so
worse.
sorry,
She
but this
seems
is
less-
just this
she
is
seems
this is
less capable.
actually fucking stupid. You just told me that you can't say you would want Kamala Harris to be president today over Trump because you quote unquote have nothing to work off of with Kamala Harris. But then you go on to admit that you very similarly, quote unquote, have nothing to work off of as it relates to Donald Trump. So how can you say that you would prefer Trump to Kamala Harris if you have quote unquote nothing to
I would
work
say
off
Trump
of
has made
for
some
both
Trump has made
candidates?
some very bad decisions that I don't support, but I still think he's more capable and has a better idea of
Yeah, why?
figuring out how to run a country than Kamala
Yeah,
Harris.
why?
Because Kamala Harris's campaign seemed very disingenuous, and she seemed like she didn't
Why?
know what she was doing a lot. It seemed very fake. It seemed very forced.
Why? Why?
She shouldn't have even been voted in as the Democratic candidate.
Why?
All her interviews just seem so unprofessional. Like she doesn't know what
Why?
she's talking about.
Why did she seem like she didn't know what she was talking about? Why do you think that?
Eyeball test.
What is an eyeball test?
I just watching her interviews, hearing her stances on things, she just
like
seemed like she would
specifically,
have no
like,
idea what she's doing.
How did she act? Specifically, what did she say in these interviews? It gave off the vibe that she had no clue.
Oh my god, I don't have it memorized. It was like a year and a half ago.
But is there like anything like specific that you could point us towards?
No, I don't have anything specific right now. You want me to look some stuff up? I could find plenty of videos.
So in other words, you can't grant any explanatory power for why you think that this is true.
I can't. Well, if you look it up, there's plenty of stuff. I don't have it on my
Like plenty
brain.
of stuff like what?
Like in her interviews when she's saying things that don't make sense and she's using fake accents to try and convince certain races to vote for her.
Fake accents to convince certain races to vote for her. Are you talking about
Yeah.
when she was speaking in AAVE in Atlanta, Georgia?
Is that when she was doing one of the weird accents? It happened multiple times.
Actually, weird accents. This is why. So AAVE is African American Vernacular English. White people
Okay.
think that AAVE, at least generally think that AAVE is really ghetto, is really weird, is stupid, dumb, and unintelligent, right?
I don't think
So,
that.
I mean, you just called it weird. So in
It's
response,
weird
what
because that's
black
not how
people
she
do in
normally
America
talks. Any
today,
accent she talks in, that's not
and
how
what
she
black
acts.
people have done in America historically, is when they're in front of a predominantly white audience, they'll code switch, not speak in AAVE. And then when they're in front of a predominantly black audience, they will code switch and they will speak in AAVE. The fact that you don't know this tells me that you probably don't know many black people, because this is not an individualistic experience of one black person, i.e. Kamala Harris. This is like a universal experience of goddamn near every black person in America, right? So the fact that you don't know this tells me you don't know really too many black people, which definitely checks out. But here's what I'll say. If this is ultimately the reason why you think she was a less preferable pick than Donald Trump, are you basically telling me that a black person code switching in and out of AAVE is worse and more meaningful insofar as why you wouldn't want them to be our president than Donald Trump raping a woman, Donald Trump calling for the execution of Democrats in Congress, Donald Trump attempting to overturn a free and fair election by installing FAKE votes for himself in Congress on J6, and Donald Trump giving full and complete presidential pardons to 160 would-be murderers who attempted to kill cops on the steps of our Capitol on J6? Are you telling me that all of those things in combination together are more preferable than a black person code switching?
No.
Okay, so then all of those things in combination to one another are worse than a black person code switching. So you would actually prefer Kamala Harris and her code switching over Trump and his raping, his sexual abuse, his ties with Epstein, his pardons of the people who try to kill cops, and his calls for the execution of Democrats in Congress.
No. No, those are pretty bad.
So do we agree that a black person code switching is preferable to all those things?
Yeah, no, I didn't really know some of those things. I don't know if they're true. I don't know.
So
You're not Google. I don't know.
If those things are true, would you say in retrospect that Kamala Harris would have been a better option?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, I'm going to give you my sources here, and I'd like for you to go check them out. I think that'd be quite meaningful. The first thing I said is Trump's a rapist. Look up Trump v. E. Jean Carroll. A unanimous jury of 9 ruled that he sexually abused, or as I say, raped her by forcefully penetrating her vagina with his fingers. The second thing that I brought up was Donald Trump calling for the execution of 6 Democrats in Congress. Just look up Donald Trump, quote unquote, hang them Dems in Congress, and I'm sure that you'll be given about 1 billion news articles from a couple months ago when he said that we should hang Democrats in Congress because they told members of our military to disobey any illegal order if Trump were to give them one, which is once again them just honoring the Constitution and the oath that they took to uphold the law. The third thing that I said was what? Do you remember?
No, I don't know.
Okay, well check
Something
out
about something about like 100 people or something.
Oh yeah, look up Donald Trump's pardons of the 172 violent J6 rioters who went to jail for assault on cops, and like such as DJ Rodriguez, who had 10 years for trying to kill Officer Fanone. And then look up Donald Trump's pardon of every single J6er, including those people who were convicted of violent assaults. And it seems like after you look all those things up and you accept that they're true, because that's what your research will tell you, you're going to be on a better side of history than you were when you joined this live. I appreciate you for joining up. I'm really surprised that I got you to that point. Wasn't expecting it.
No, yeah, you might have swayed me on some of that stuff a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know about all those things Trump did, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, I guess watch the live stream more and have a good rest of your day, okay?
Yep, you too.
Wow. I wasn't that one really came out of left field. I generally feel like I have good quote unquote feelers for like if I'll be able to like sway and convince the person I'm debating otherwise. Like I usually have a pretty good idea of I'll be able to change their mind. And like all like the warning signs were telling me that last guess could never be saved, and he was just, you know, forever going to be on the right, and there's nothing that could be done about it. Guess not, dude. Wow. That was really, really out of left field. That's pretty cool. Welcome in, Gigglesaurus. Do you support Trump?
Hey, no, Dean, I don't. You've let me in before. I just wanted to hope that you have a wonderful day.
Thanks, Gigglesaurus.
Goodbye, Dean.
I remember that guy from like back in 2022. I remember that guy from back in 2022. OG. Let's go to get the next guest connected. Only hop inside of the queue if you do happen to be MAGA, everybody. We got Metalman22 loading in. For everybody watching, specifically on TikTok, yesterday we got a 5-year ban for being under the age of 18. It came out of nowhere. The only reason why I have my account back is because I was able to get a couple people that work at TikTok to give me it back. But in response, I now permanently have my GIFs disabled. If you've taken a look at the bottom of your phone screen, you can't even send a goddamn rose if you wanted to. I personally think that there is an internal campaign at TikTok to push me off platform. They tried to ban me from being able to go live for 5 years, and it didn't work because I happen to have my insiders. But in response, they're now taking away my ability to receive any and all gifts on TikTok, maybe hoping that that'll put more pressure on me to like quit streaming. So if you want to support me, you could find a link to my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in my bio on TikTok, pin message over on that YT stream, as well as the handles at the top of the phone screen on TikTok too. It's just my name, Dean Withers, without the letter E in my last name, Withers. Do quadruple check that spelling because there's a bunch of fake scam accounts out there. There's a handful of people that we do have to thank. We'll start doing that here in one moment. First and foremost, let's see if this guest is MAGA. Metal Man, do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do, and also I want to support you by master debating. Oh, Dean, I'm master debating.
Yeah, goodbye. Joseph, thank you so much for the $20 over on Venmo. I appreciate you so much for that love, Joseph. Joseph with the $20 says, here to watch the VOD later, but wondered if you've heard about Tizzy getting banned and wondered if you have thoughts on that. I did see that he got banned. I don't know what he got banned for, but it was probably some bullshit. I was thinking of like maybe reaching out to him and seeing how I could help. But I appreciate you for the $20, Joseph. Let's get to it, or Joseph W. That is very, very kind of you. Thank you. Lazar and Boots, welcome in, you two. Do you guys support Trump?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, who said yeah, I do?
Oh, Charlie Kirk. Oh.
Bootman, do you support Trump?
Yeah, I was just wondering if I could get some advice.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. You gotta be 18 to be on TikTok Live. I'm sorry that I can't give you advice, my friend. Hey, Martin, do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
Oh, you know what? I should have given that kid an ability to at least just ask this question and see what he wanted advice on first before I kicked him out. I should have done that. I should have. Oh well. What year are you born in, Martin?
2007.
Okay. And how old are you once again?
18.
Alrighty. Give me one moment here to thank a couple people, then I'll pass that mic to you. But before I do, I want to ask, what month were you born in?
July.
What day?
29th.
Okay, sounds good. Give me one moment. Olivia, thank you for the $20 over on Venmo, who says, so this guy claims that Harris was childish, but Trump was out there mocking and calling women pigs. Yep. I swear, Donald Trump is the most childish, quote-unquote, president that we've ever had. And the reason why I put quotes around it is because I think it's much more than just childish. Jennifer with the $1 says, is this the right Venmo? It sure is. Amanda, thank you for the $10. She says, it's absolutely confounding how uninformed MAGA is. Well, it's selection bias, because if they were informed, then they wouldn't be MAGA. It shouldn't be surprising to you in the slightest. Ethan, thank you for the $10. Who says, Dean, you cooked on that DI debate. Well, thank you so much, Ethan. Let's get 1,000 Ethan W's. As well as Janaea. That is Jenaya. Thank you so much for the $75 donation on Venmo. You are literally so incredibly kind, folks. Thank you so much, Janaea. I want to see 750 huge Janaea W's in that comment section. I'm very, very grateful for you. Janaea with the 75 just says thank you. Well, thank you, Janaea. Holy crap. That's incredible. So kind. Megan, thank you for the $10. Who says your DI debate was spot on. Well, thank you so much, Megan. You're awesome. Let's get 100 Megan W's. Fasi, thank you for the $5. And Desiree, thank you for the $15. Who says, since I can't gift on TikTok, I'll do this. Thank you for doing what you do. I look forward to your streams every day. Well, I'm so happy to have you here. And thank you for the $15, Desiree. Same thing to you, Jared. Thank you so much for the $25. Please show some love to Jared down below. Who says, this year I was labeled 100% disabled by the VA. My cat is a senior kitty. We're both on our way out. Oh, and all she does is cuddle with me all day. Her name is Fluff. Oh, Jared. I appreciate you for the $25, man. Shout out to you and Fluff. I'm happy to have you both here. Thank you for the $25. That's really sad, man. Sydney, I appreciate you for the $40 donation over on Venmo. This came in 46 minutes ago. That is SYDNEY. That is very, very kind of you, Sydney. Let's also show some massive love to Sydney in that comment section. Huge. Sydney with the 40 says, hope this is the right Dean. It sure is. Thank you for all that you do. I turn into your streams on TikTok and sometimes YouTube every day, and I learn so much from you. Well, that is awesome. Thank you so much for the $40. Shout out to you, and I'm so happy that you learned quite a bit from the streams. A couple more here. This came in 50 minutes ago from Dina with a $50 donation on Venmo. Holy fuck, Dina. Dina with a 50 says, fuck TikTok. Here's for the grift. Well, thank you for supporting the grift, because TikTok took our ability away, and we need to grift more now than ever, quite frankly. As well as Maddie, that is MATTI. Thank you for the $20, who says, happy to be one of the first grifts of the stream. Also, Dad said that he did not want to debate. He's afraid he would not be able to control his tongue. Also, why is TikTok low-key throwing? Bro, TikTok's always been throwing for a while. And Maddie, if you should try to convince your dad to join up. Love to chat with him. We still have a couple people to thank on Super Chat and PayPal, but I've had you guys waiting for a while. So right now, I'm honestly just going to pass the mic off to Martin to take it away, and I'll make sure I weave in those thank yous in the middle of the debate so we could get caught up. I'm very grateful for everybody who supported the stream. One last time, TikTok did permanently restrict our ability to receive gifts on the platform. If you want to support, got to do it through the link tree in the bio with the Venmo and the PayPal. Go ahead and take it away. Tell us why you support Trump, Martin.
Because I beat my dick to him every night. His face is mad sexy. I want to fucking just jerk off all over that.
Alrighty, we're going to be banning Martin and moving on to the next guest. Only hop inside of the queue. If you do happen to be MAGA, we get Alex Williams. Let him up inside of the queue. Thank you for the $10 on Super Chat. Chelps, who says, back at it again. Dean, love the daily debates. Happy to have you here, Chelps. You've been tuning in a lot recently. Saints with the $10 says, why is TikTok trying to push you off the platform? Maybe for the same reason Larry Ellison bought it. I don't think they like what I have to say too much, and I just so happen to be one of their largest streamers. And then Freddie, thank you for the $10. Good to see you again, Freddie. Yeah. Welcome in, X. Do you support Trump?
No, but I'd love to debate you.
All right, well, today we are just looking to talk to Trump supporters per the rules in the middle of the phone screen. I'm going to go to kick you out. Go ahead and take a look at the middle of the phone screen if you are confused on the rules, and only make sure that you're hopping inside of the queue.
If you are confused on the rules, and only make sure that you're hopping inside of the queue. If you are confused on the rules, and only make sure that you're hopping.
Wow, what an echo. Dila, thank you for the $10 on Super Chat. Good to see you today. Welcome in. Do you support Trump? Apparently not, because they left. Moving on to the next guest, we got Adam loading up inside of the queue. For everybody who's joined so far, you got a little share button in the bottom right-hand corner of your phone screen, everybody. Hit that little share button, hit that yellow repost button. It will send this live stream out to your friends. It will really help us get some more crazy Trump supporters, hopefully, in here to host a debate. We're going to go to get that next guest connected right now. Area, thank you for the $10 on Super Chat, who says, playing Dead by Daylight and listening to Dean kicks ass. Let's go. Hey, welcome in. Do you support Trump? Actually, just going to kick you because of that crazy echo. Not doing the echo here, man. We got the next guest, Peyton, connecting. Here we go, everybody. Mary, thank you for the $10. Who says, I thought MAGA were the facts over feelings crowd. Funny how easy it is for you to prove that they're all delicate little babies who can't admit the facts and they'd prefer racism. Yep, absolutely, Mary. I think that the last debate was a really good example of that, as well as Greg. Thank you so much for the $20 on Super Chat. Greg did not attach a message, just sent the love. Hope you're doing well today, Greg. Thank you so much, my friend. For everybody else, we're still looking for the next guest. Let's get 200 Greg W's down below. I appreciate you.
Vote Dean for...
Vote Dean. Definitely not a Trump supporter, let me tell you. We got Noah loading up. Here we go, everyone. Looking for some debates. Hey, hello, Noah. Do you support Trump?
Yo, Dean, do I have a clean LBX?
I'm not going to answer your question. But if that's what was in your profile picture, then yes. I guess that's an answer to the question. All right, let's get the next guest connected. Michelle, thank you so much for the $40 donation on PayPal. God damn, Michelle. Michelle with the $40 says, always spot on with your debates. I appreciate you. Thank you. Let's get forward to Michelle W's. That is beyond kind of you. Thank you so much. Holy crap. Kark, welcome in. Do you support Trump?
To be honest, yes, before the term started, but now I'm kind of iffy because of his...
How old are you?
I just turned 18.
Birth date, please?
June 26, 2008.
Okay. Can you disconnect me from any Bluetooth device?
Oh.
He might be driving.
Hello?
Are you driving? Hey, are you driving?
I'm in my car, yes.
Okay. Come back up when you're not driving, dude. Love to have a conversation with you. Not only is it unsafe, but it actively violates TikTok terms of service. We got Brennan Nationalist connecting. Miss Gabby, thank you for the $50 over on PayPal. I appreciate you, Gabby. That is crazy. Gabby says, hope you're doing well, Dean. If you'd like a hilarious break from U.S. politics, please check out Count Binface running in a local by-election against Nigel Farage over in the UK. It's absolutely wild and kind of rooting for him to win. Peace and love to you as always, man. Listen, I know that the UK has had some crazy fucking elections in the last couple of years. I don't keep up to date with them because my brain already has enough going on keeping up to date with American politics, but I'll have to take a look. Let's go to get the next guest connected. Here we go, everyone. Only hop inside of the queue if you do happen to be MAGA. Only hop inside of the queue if you do happen to be MAGA. We got Quinn connecting. We got Colby connecting. I swear that we're looking for the next guest. Dude,
What's
this
up,
came... Hey, welcome in, man.
buddy.
Do you support Trump?
Yes, sir. You had a beige yesterday, man. Good.
Holy MAGA mobile. Holy MAGA mobile. I'm like, if we're going to attempt to parse out what he just said, I'm pretty sure that he said that I debated him yesterday, but I can't really tell because his connection was pretty terrible. If you're inside of the queue, guys, make sure that you are an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president, and you're down to come up here and have a debate with me about why. That's specifically who we're looking for. This came in an hour ago on PayPal. I'm just now getting caught up. This was, in fact, the very first donation of the day. Veronica, you have been so fucking kind to me. This is like the third time you've done this in the last month. Veronica, thank you so much for the $100. You are awesome. Let's get 1,000 Veronica W's. Genuinely, thank you so much. That is so insane. Who says, TikTok is always weird. No way, this dude is pissing on live. I just want to let you know that you're so great and I always look forward to your lives after work. Yeah, Veronica sent that in right after we had the Pissa earlier. He was literally the first guest of the stream. We had him up in the first 5 minutes. What a way to kick off the debates of the day. What a way to kick off the debates of the day with somebody literally pissing on live. But I appreciate you, Veronica. You are absolutely the coolest ever. Do show some love to Veronica while we are still looking for that next guest. Like, holy moly, guys. Holy moly, guys. Paige, thank you for the $15. Who says to keep the grift alive without TikTok gifts. Thank you, Paige. And then Corey, appreciate you for the $25. Who says, proud of you, brother, seeing you continue to live stream and spread a message. Well, I try to do my best, Corey. I really appreciate you for being here. I hope that you enjoyed the debates today. Show some love to the Go Corey down below. Welcome in. Do you support Trump? Jack?
Fuck you, Dean. Fuck you. No, I love him. I love him so much. Oh, I love him. Oh, I love you. I love
Eric,
you so
how do you
much.
respond?
Dean, I beat my dick to you every day. Dean, I beat my dick to you every day.
Guys. Ladies and gentlemen. I'm more so targeting the gentlemen with this request because it seems like that's the bigger issue on our hands. We've so far had 2 people join the stream and talk about the very vile things they like to do with their pee-pee in their spare time. This is, frankly, quite frankly, a political debate stream. We're supposed to be talking about politics. Wow! We're supposed to be debating about the state of the presidential administration. Wow! So listen, hear me out. Hear me out. I know this is a big request. I know this is a really big request, but let's really try our best with this one, folks. Follow the rules. They're very simple. We only have 3 of them. Gotta be an American adult. Those are the first 2. The last one is you just have to be a Trump supporter, okay? That's all, guys. It's so simple. It's so easy. It's so easy. Is this TikTok? Is TikTok doing this? Am I turning into like a conspiracy theorist? Or they took away my ability to get gifts, and now And now they're probably they've made an investment into 13-year-olds, offering them $5 if they join the stream and scream at me. This is all TikTok's doing. I'm just kidding. Let's go to get that next guest, Skylar, connected only up inside of that box if you do happen to be MAGA. Miss Abigail, thank you for the $20 on PayPal. Let's get to it at Abigail W's, who says, I don't know much, but it does seem like TikTok doesn't treat its creators very well. Yeah, they don't treat their creators well at all. Carson and Haley, I appreciate you guys for the $5. Tyler and Riley, appreciate y'all for the $5. Marianne, thank you for the $10, who says, thank you for trying to educate the callers. I try my best. And with that being said, let's go ahead and try to get that very next guest connected to the stream. We got Trey loading in. Holy moly. On Super Chat, thank you for the $10 Sturm, who says, holy cow, these are the most Grand Theft Auto NPC callers ever. They fucking suck. They suck, Storm. Charles with the $10, who says, definitely never been a MAGA supporter and since I came across your lives and tuned in, seen all the absolute crazies that you debate. Yeah, we debate some crazies on a daily basis. It's been bad recently. Trey, do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do.
How do you, Trey?
20.
Alrighty. And why do you happen to be the worst person ever? Why are you a Trump supporter?
Yo, why would you say that?
I actually didn't mean to say that. I meant to ask, why do you happen to support the worst president of your life? But then I ended up saying, why do you happen to be the worst person ever? I guess go ahead and take it away and tell us why you support Trump.
I'm the worst person ever. It's whatever. So I will get into that, but I feel like you should stream on any app besides TikTok because everyone in your thing is like under 18. Like everyone here.
Well,
and that's why you got banned,
I don't think that's true. When I look at my age demographics, the most popular age demographic of people that follow me are actually 24 through 36-year-olds. But kids just have less self-control than adults. Adults have enough self-control to not join my queue unless they're abiding by the rules. A lot of kids don't, so that's why we get a lot of kids in the queue. It's election bias. Yeah. Trey, why don't you go ahead and take it away and tell us why you support Trump?
So I support him because, like, the taxes and stuff, it's just so much easier, so much better.
The taxes and stuff. Yeah, you said you're
you know
old?
what I'm saying? I'm 20.
And I bet, so you're 20. I bet you're, like, chances are you're not making that much money. You know, you're just starting.
No, I just work at, like, a restaurant.
Yeah. Like, I would say what? You make at or under $50K a year?
Yep.
And that, by the way, that's completely acceptable for 20.
Yeah, I'm not going to disclose because, like,
yeah, don't worry
like,
about
famous and stuff.
Trey, you have 5,000 followers.
Am I muted?
No, I said that you have 5,000 followers.
Oh, well, yeah, because well, yeah, that's like the population of like some countries.
What country?
Maybe Vatican City?
I think even Vatican City has more than a $5,000 permanent residence.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I'm not famous. I don't know why I said that. All right, so yeah, continue.
So back to the debate, Trey. You said that you supported me because of his tax policy. Then you went on to tell us that you make at or under $51,000 annually. Here's the issue. According to the Senate on Budget and Policy Priorities, the Big Beautiful Bill, aka his tax policy, actually effectively reduces the purchasing power and makes life harder for Americans making at or under $51,000 per year. So you're actually hurt by Trump's tax policy.
I thought he didn't tax on tips.
Well, he has a 2-year deductible for that, so that's going to expire for you next year. But when we consider not just the no tax on tips, but also everything else in the bill, it hurts you more than it helps you, according to that institution. Not to mention that Kamala Harris, who would be president if Donald Trump lost the election, she ran on no tax on tips, but it didn't have an expiration date of 2 years. So your life would be much better off if she had won the election.
So, like, how much more you think I would be getting if it was not him?
Well, I need to know your specific income. I would also need to know how much of that income is tips, since you make no tax on tips.
Yeah, but...
And then I'd probably need to take a moment to do the math. So I can't give you a straight answer on how much more you'd be making. I could just tell you that you would be making more.
Like, is there like a percentage or like a fraction?
It would be a couple percent, like 1 to 3. You'd be making more.
Jeez. That's nuts. I'm trying to think of something else I can say. Snap back.
So you support Trump because of his policy that hurts you?
Well, yeah. I guess. No, sorry. I shouldn't have.
Yeah, I guess. Dude, where's my
Yeah.
fucking red hat at? I support Trump because he makes my life worse off.
I'm clipping that. I'm clipping
I
that.
support Trump. Trey, no, listen to me, brother.
You're done.
We're one and the same, my friend. We're one and the same, Trey. Just like you, sir. I also support Trump because he makes my life worse.
Why are you disrespecting people?
Who am I disrespecting outside of myself?
No,
Because I just
this is
argued
not
that I
cool. You're
support a
disrespecting-
president because
you're
he makes my
disrespecting-
life worse.
You're disrespecting me. How dare you?
I'm
How dare
disrespecting
you
you
speak
by
Merry
showing
Christmas?
you how fucking foolish you are.
Wait, you're calling me a fool?
Yes.
Wait, that's not cool though. Like, you can't lie. You can't just like insult people like that.
Okay, I'd recommend going to your local grocery store, buying some tissues, and crying about it.
Damn, that was cold. No, that was cold. That was cold. That was cold. That was cold. And I can play Piano Man on the harmonica.
All right, he's up here to fuck around. Let's go to get the next guest connected. Only opposite side of the queue. If you do happen to be an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president, please and thank you. Make sure that you are following the rules. Make sure that you are following the rules, god damn it. On Venmo, Tracy, thank you so much for the $50, god damn. Who says, it's my birthday tomorrow and you brought up so much common sense in my life surrounded by Trump supporters. Thank you. Tracy, happy early birthday. I want everybody watching to show some major love to Tracy for her birthday. That is TRACI. Thank you so
Happy
much for the
birthday.
kind words. And I'm so happy that these live streams are a benefit to you. We love that. Evil Dean, do you support Trump?
I don't know.
Okay, banned. Marianne, thank you for the $20. Who says, Dean, you're awesome, and I listen to you every day when you go live. Oh, that's awesome, Marianne. Thank you so much. And you can find my business email in my link tree. But Marianne, you are awesome. I'm so happy that you enjoy the live streams, and I appreciate you so much for the $20. Let's get Amber loaded up into the stream. Amy with the $10 says, sorry for how TikTok is treating you. Seems like they're only hurting themselves because now they don't make money off your gifts. Yeah, I don't know why they would turn my ability to get gifts off, considering the fact that, I mean, it really just hurts them. like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it just seems like everybody who would otherwise gift on TikTok is now just sending like a dono on Venmo or PayPal. I don't know why they'd like turn that ability off to try to get one over on me. It looks like it backfired in their faces. Allie with the $5 is crazy that you took your gifts away because they don't get a percentage of what you get on Venmo and PayPal. Stay goated. Yeah, I know. It's just hurting them. That's what the last person said. Same thing to you. Georgia, thank you so much for the $20. I appreciate you. That is very, very kind. I appreciate you. Georgia, yeah, they don't like me anymore. And it's really unfortunate, Georgia. Alistair, welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Man, I just got a little bit of a different question than that.
Okay, fake Southern accent, probably under the age of 18, and probably up here to troll. Let's go to get the next guest connected. Follow the damn rules. Only up inside of the queue if you're here for a debate. Please and thank you. Amanda, thank you for the $7. She says, fuck TikTok, so true. Jenny with the $10, who says, why does TikTok want to get rid of you? Because they don't like our political opinions. Now that Larry Ellison bought the company, they are very pro-Trump. We got Richard loading in. Elizabeth, thank you for the $10 as well. You said, hopefully this works, and it's you. Forget TikTok gifting. I got you. I appreciate you for the $10, Elizabeth. Cadence with the $20 says, thank you so much for what you do, Dean. Well, thank you for the $20 and the kind words, Cadence. I hope that you enjoyed the stream today. Then Isabel, thank you for the $5. Who says, hope that this is the right Venmo. It sure is. And Miss Tina, thank you so much for the $40. Who says, what can we do for you on TikTok to get your access fully restored for gifts? Keep up the good work, and here's something for the grift. Dude, thank you so much, Tina. Oh my God, bro. This backfired in TikTok's fucking face. I'm so very grateful for everybody. You guys are being so kind today. Like, dude, it's actually a little bit overwhelming. Thank you guys so much for the kindness. We're looking for that next Trump supporter right now. Show some love to Tina in that chat for the $40 donation. I don't even know what's going on. Thank you. We're going to get the next guest connected, guys. Please only hop inside of the queue if you do happen to be MAGA. We are looking for some debates. If you want to know what the rules are in order to join the live stream, take a look in the middle of the phone screen. Welcome in. Do you support Trump? All right, guys, please stop trolling. The purpose and the point of these live streams is to change individuals' minds on the nature of their support for Trump. See, the thing is, when we don't troll, we change minds. You guys have allowed me to debate one Trump supporter today.
I'll beat the shit out of you. I'll beat the shit out of you, Dean.
Hey, shut up, Carl. Shut up.
Hey, Carl, white boy with a perm. What the fuck are you going to do about it?
Dean, I will slap the shit out of you.
I want to debate you, Dean.
Yeah, bro, I'm not the drywall in your mom's basement. Okay, you can't just slap me because you lost a game of Fortnite. But I guess you can't do that to your drywall either. Your mom probably beat your ass for that one, huh?
No, I beat your ass though.
What'd she do? She told you to take a shower? She said, oh, your punishment is to clean yourself?
Maybe.
Because we all know you don't like to do that. Fucking stinky ass white boy with a perm.
You have a.
Sergeant, how old are you?
Hi, Dean. I am 23 years old, man.
Are you a Trump supporter? Alrighty, let's go to get that next guest connected. Only up inside of the queue if you do happen to be MAGA. Everybody, Mads, thank you so much for the $15. Who says, work is hella slow tonight. Nobody wants to come to the bar on a Thursday. Watching your live to not go crazy. LOL. Thank you for keeping me company. Well, I'm happy to have you here, and thank you for the $15. Are you a bartender? If so, that's really interesting. I have a couple friends who are bartenders. Couple of friends. One is sober, and the other is an alcoholic. I guess you see a lot of either completely sober people or alcoholic individuals working as bartenders. I bet if you work in the industry, you've probably seen a lot of people like that yourself. We got Rigby loading up in. There's a little bit about my life, I guess. Katarina and Lindsay, thank you both for the $5, and Medina, thank you for the $1. And Jennifer, thank you so much for the $15, and I'll definitely make sure that I include that in the argument. Thank you for letting me know, and I appreciate you for the $15. Hey, welcome in. Do you support Trump, Rigby?
Yes.
How old are you?
19.
What year were you born in?
2007.
Okay. Why do you happen to support the worst president of your life, Rigby?
I don't know. Also, hey guys, Rail Mike. Dude, shout out to Rail Mike. Oh my fucking god, bro. Let's go.
Okay, guys. I didn't think I'd have to, like, state this, but maybe I have to start making it clear. We're looking for Trump supporters that think they do know why they support Trump, because it's kind of an important attribute of a good debate. Calm down, B-Cubs. Thank you so much for the $20 over on Super Chat, who says, Dean, so sorry TikTok turned on you, but not surprised. You need a platform for professionals with built-in moderation by the organization so you don't have to deal with such nonsense. I'm just gonna kick him. B-Cubs, I appreciate you so much for the $20. Yeah. I one day when we get the infrastructure built out, we'll probably move away from TikTok. We're just not there yet. I appreciate you for the $20. Omar with the $10 says that TikTok has been bullying you recently. So fucking true. Sydney, thank you for the $10, and I just read your message, and I'm so happy that you enjoyed the debates. And Maddie, thank you for the $20, who says, I found so much comfort in watching your streams. Thank you so much. Well, Maddie, I told you this earlier. Thank you so much for being here. I'm very, very grateful for you. You are awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Let's go ahead and really try to focus in on getting the next debate rolling. Show some love to the donors, and please do follow the rules. Make sure that you're an American adult that's 18 plus that supports Trump if you are inside of that queue. Like, genuinely, guys, please just let me have a debate. Seriously, when you guys troll so much, it genuinely takes away my ability to change people's minds. Genuinely. Steel Vengeance, do you support Trump? Swallowed Lao 4, do you support Trump?
Sorry, Dean. Sorry. No.
Guys, genuinely, it takes away my ability to change people's minds when you troll me this much, okay? Listen, it's really important. It's really, really, really important. Earlier, when you guys were not trolling me and you let me find a Trump supporter to debate, we were able to change their mind, okay? It has now been 30 minutes of straight trolls. 30 minutes of straight trolls, everybody. Let me try to change somebody's mind. The one and the only Trump supporter that we were able to get connected to the live stream, we were able to change their minds. Just letting you know that, like, MAGA, the Trump supporters, they fucking love y'all. They love the trolls. They love the trolls. Because what happens when you troll is I don't change people's minds. What happens when you don't troll is I do change people's minds. So I'm dead ass. Like, you know, I'm just going to start telling the trolls that Trump loves them, because it's true. Trump does love them. They actually help him. They actually help him a lot. I got a couple people loaded up inside of that box. I'm going to go ahead and go top to bottom. Cross emoji, are you a Trump supporter?
Yes.
How old are you?
18.
What year were you born in?
2008, July 8th.
Okay. Next person, no name. Isaac, I guess. I sent you an invite to turn your mic on. Isaac, do you support Trump? Under the age of 18. As a Gooner, I sent you a mic invite. Go ahead and turn that mic on by accepting that invite. Looks like as a Gooner's left, so it's just you, Cross.
First, I gotta say that I love your content. I'm a really big fan of what you do and stuff. But I do have a question about Kamala.
Okay, well, feel free to ask your question about Harris, but then hopefully we could hop into a debate about why you're MAGA.
So this happened 2024, and I recently found out about it. She was giving a speech about Israel, and I don't know, it kind of excuse me, kind of seemed like she supports it.
Yeah, she did. She was pro-Israel.
Oh, okay. So, isn't that like what is she supporting?
Isn't that a bad? Is that a bad thing to support Israel? Yes, it was a bad thing for her to support Israel. True.
And how do you feel about that?
I don't like it, which is why I advocate for more progressive people on the left compared to establishment liberals that are very Zionist.
Okay, well.
Because I'm anti-Israel. We had two candidates, Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. Kamala Harris was pro-Israel, but then Donald Trump was pro-Israel times a billion, plus he was a rapist. Plus he defunded USAID, which is projected to kill 14 million people over the course of the next 4 years. Plus he's called for the abolition of our Constitution. Plus he took the access to healthcare, particularly abortion, away from 66 million American women and girls. Plus, because of him, 10 rape victims per day are denied access to abortion after that rape impregnated them. Like, it's an easy pick for me.
Oh, okay, well,
So why do you support Trump, please?
I actually just really have been trying to ask that question since the past few days.
Well, I'm happy that I could answer it, but why do you support Trump?
The thing is, I don't, and I really just wanted to ask this question.
Let's go ahead and move on to the next guest, guys. What are we doing? Let me change some minds here. To the last guest, Trump loves you. Trump loves you a lot. I'm not even joking. He actually does. Trump loves you. You help him out by preventing our ability from changing minds. Let's go to get the next guest connected. Only opposite side of the queue if you happen to be MAGA. Over on Super Chat, thank you for the $12. Aries Mysterium, who says the real name for... I'm not familiar with who that is, so I'm not going to read it out loud. Charles, thank you for the $10 on Super Chat, who says so many trolls today. So true. Freddie, thank you for the $20 on Super Chat. Freddie, you already know I'm just going to ignore your message because I think that you're a little strange. But welcome back to the stream. That's all on Super Chat for now. Let's get that next guest connected. Follow the rules. You have to be an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president in order to stay on the stream. Please legitimately try your best to follow the rules. I would really appreciate that. Freddie's such a weirdo. Orbit Productions, do you support Trump? Okay.
No, fuck you.
Alrighty, that's a little angry child. Wow. Jeez, man, these kids, dude. We got Damien loading into the box. Kirsten, thank you for the $20 on Venmo. Says it's my birthday today. Thank you for all the lives and the information that you share. Happy birthday, Kirsten! That is awesome, Kristen. That is Kristen. Please do show some love to Kirsten down below in the chat while we try to find that next Trump supporter. Tim Prince, thank you for the $10. That says love all that you do. Thank you so much. Sammy, thank you so much for the $10, and I'll make sure I take a look into the Abbott Laboratories and the DOJ's investigation into them. I'll take a look into that. And then Miss Amber, thank you so much for the $86 and the 47 cents on Venmo. Holy fuck, Amber. Amber with the major donation says, if nobody else has told you today, I'm proud of you. Amber, thank you so very much for your endearing words and the huge donation. As I've told to a handful of the other donors, I really hope that you enjoyed the stream today. I'm trying to give you some debates, Amber. I'm trying to give you all some debates, but the trolls are just making it very difficult. Just know that I appreciate you. You are the goat. Just love to Amber. Charlie, do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Paul, do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do. I didn't even know I was up here, though.
That's fine. You're up here now. Do you want to stick around for a conversation?
Sure.
Okay, Paul. How old are you? Sound over 18. Oh, never mind. He just left. Trying my best here, everybody. Really trying my best, guys. I'm so sorry that it's not working, as you guys could tell. Very difficult to find some Trump supporters. As per usual, super annoying. The streams have been destroyed by trolls. We're probably actually just going to end soon. I'm just going to end my stream. We're not going to do it. Sorry, guys. It's been 30 minutes of trolls, so we're probably on our way out for the day. if we don't get a guest up soon, we're just not going to do a stream today. I'm going to go spend my time doing some chores around the house. I accidentally broke a mirror in the bathroom recently, so I could use some time to replace that. And if we're not changing minds, a more productive use of my time would be to go replace that bathroom mirror. So, I mean, we're going to end. We're going to end if we don't get a Trump supporter up here in a moment. I don't know what to tell y'all. There's just nothing we could do. I've accepted it. You know, what are like the 7 stages of grief? You know, it goes from like anger to denial to acceptance. I'm finally at like the acceptance stage of that grief for the trolls. Like some days there's just nothing I can do because they're not going to stop. So we might just have to end our stream. Jason, do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
How old are you, Jason?
19.
All right, Jason, I'm going to thank a couple people. The mic of the floor will be yours. Miss Elizabeth, thank you for the $20 on Venmo, who says, hey, Dean, long-time watcher and first-time donor. I love your lives, and I watch them anytime I can. I'm a liberal, but thank you for helping me educate myself further. You're the best. You're the best, Elizabeth. Thank you so much for the love. Same thing to you, Darcy. Thank you so much for the $20. I will absolutely check that out. Spence, thank you so much for the $1, who says, the right Venmo. Keep up the good work unless you're a scammer. You got the right Venmo, man. Maddie with the $10 says, thoughts on Mamdani? Fucking love that dude. Actually interviewed him on the stream. Madeline, I appreciate you so much for the $5. Huge shout out to you, as well as let's see here, Freddie with the $10 on YouTube Super Chat says sobs. Yeah, cry, Freddie. Go ahead and take it away. Why don't you tell us why you support Trump, Jason?
Well, many.
You want to pause? You left the app. We can't hear you when you leave the app. Please do come back to the app for us.
My bad. Yeah, well, his tax reforms.
Tax reform. Okay, all right. So do you think that is tax reform made the economy better, put more money in the pockets of everyday Americans?
Although it hasn't made many changes, but I do see that there will be some improvements.
Like what? Like what, Jason?
See, you got me there, but
bro, if you can't enumerate and articulate the improvements of his tax reforms, then why do you support it?
It's just I was raised to support him.
Okay, do you think that parents are always right?
No.
Then how do you know that they are right about their politics?
Although Trump isn't the best person, I feel like he has the right mindset of what he's doing.
Okay,
but even though
so the mindset of what he's doing is the right mindset. So this means that what he's doing are the right things. What can you just give me a couple like examples? Just rattle them off. The things that he's doing that you think are right.
It's not really what he's doing, but he has a solid mindset if he chooses to do.
Can you describe his mindset to us?
Damn, you got me here. Hold on.
Debate over. 3 seconds. This is the other issue with these streams as of recently. We deal with trolls for like 40 minutes, and then as soon as we find the first Trump supporter, like the debate is like sped run over and done with in like literally 3 seconds. How about this? Can we agree that you failed to articulate a single like clear reason why Trump is a good president?
I did.
So if I could articulate a single clear reason why he's a bad president, would that change your mind?
Could you go for it? I want to see what you have.
Yeah, he called for the abolition and the termination of our Constitution. And he's covering up and running frontline defense for the predators and the pedophiles in the Epstein files. Marjorie Taylor Greene, who was a congresswoman from Georgia, one of Donald Trump's ride or dies, literally, a huge cult member, ended up dropping out of politics as a whole and then came out publicly by stating that Trump had asked her to vote against the release of the Epstein files because if they were released, all of quote-unquote Trump's friends from Mar-a-Lago would be hurt. Plus, Donald Trump was personally accused by a victim of Epstein's in the files, and then he had that illegally redacted from the files.
He did that?
Yeah. This was reported on everywhere. How about this? Do you believe the victims of Epstein in their allegations against Epstein?
I do.
Okay, well, Jane Doe number 4 accused Epstein of trafficking her to the big T. And we know that Jane Doe number 4 was a legitimate victim of Epstein's because she had won millions of dollars in a settlement from his estate for sexual abuse. So do you believe that allegation?
I do believe it.
Okay, so you believe that our president was doing that to kids? Isn't that enough reason not to support him, man?
I mean, yeah, that there's some reasons to not support him, but
is that enough? The question is him being a fucking P3DO?
I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but that's also it's becoming very common around here, and that's something I do not agree with. But it is.
Kamala Harris a P3DO?
No, I will say that she wasn't. I don't know.
So pedophile versus non-pedophile. Who are you gonna vote for?
Well, you can't really make that all about them. Like, yeah, some people could have been in that, but it's not like you're gonna.
Then what do we make it about? Because remember earlier when you tried to articulate the reasons why you support Trump, you admitted that you came up empty-handed. So it's like, okay, Would you rather support a pedophile who you can't think of any redeeming qualities, can't think of any good policy that they would implement, could implement, or are implementing, can't think of any reasons outside of the fact that they're pedophile that would lead you to or not to support them? Would you take the pedophile over the non-pedophile, or would you take the non-pedophile over the pedophile?
It really depends because, like, well, I'm trying to find the right words. Well, damn, you're good at this. Hold on. Well, if he was a pedophile, yes, he was. But Kamala wasn't. You like, even though they were pedophiles, like I don't support that. But I do support some things that Trump is doing because I feel like they will better our country.
Like? By the way, that statement in of its own is crazy, but I'm going to ask you the what are the good things that he's doing question because you aren't going to be able to name them.
Damn.
See how that works?
Yeah, I do.
So do the fact that you accepted that he's a P3DO and you can't name anything good that he's doing, why do you still support him as president? I feel like that's a really convincing case to stop supporting him, my friend.
Yeah, you just opened my eyes, yeah.
Yeah, let's go, dude. Let's go. I'm happy that I could help you open your eyes. Keep on doing your research. Keep on tuning into the streams to learn more. But I'm happy that we could get you to drop your support for Trump, okay?
I thank you for that. And I want to say I respect you for what you're doing and like I truly admire you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jason. You have a good one.
You too, yeah.
Take care. Dude, we are 2 for 2 today. Hey, how old are you?
Well, I'm actually 15, but okay, like, you don't have to kick me because...
Sorry, we got a hate comment from them, so I invited them up, but they're 15, so we got to kick them. Guys, we are 2 for 2 today. We're 2 for 2. This is my most compelling case for you guys to stop supporting Trump. Wait. Well, yeah, my live streams are that, but that's not what I meant to say. I meant to say, this is my most compelling case for you guys to stop trolling me. That's what I meant to say. We're an hour and a half into the stream. Because of all the trolls, you guys have only let me debate 2 actual real Trump supporters. But then the 2 actual real Trump supporters y'all let me get around to, we changed their minds. Also, for everybody that's tuning in on TikTok, you might notice that you don't have the ability to gift through the stream. Yesterday, TikTok banned us for 5 years for being under the age of 18. Luckily, I have some people on the inside. They were able to get my account back. But then TikTok weirdly restricted our ability to get gifts with no explanation and no notification. They genuinely just completely cut off our ability to monetize the streams on platform. I think it's TikTok's way of trying to push me out, or at least to try to push me out, right? So if you want to support me, but you can't because you can't gift, you still can. I'm my Venmo, my PayPal. In the link tree in my bio and my TikTok account, pin message on that YT stream, as well as the handle for the Venmo and the PayPal are at the top of the phone screen. It's just my name, Dean Withers, without the letter E in my last name, Withers. Make sure that you quadruple check that spelling, because there's a bunch of fake scam and Dean Withers accounts out there. Almost sent money to one of them myself, so that's why I always say that. They're very tricky. They'll get you. Gavin, do you support Trump?
Hey, what's up, man? Hold on 1 second. All right, my bad. I was just turning.
Gavin, yes or no, do you support Trump?
That's a tough question, man.
I need a yes or no in the next 3 seconds before I kick you. I was going to let him quickly give a yes or no to that question, but I know he's driving, so then I was going to ask him to pull over if he was, but we can't have people driving on TikTok Live, so we got to kick him. I was just trying to give him, like, an opportunity to pull over and debate us, since I know that, like, everybody in the queue is a fucking troll. Emily, do you support Trump? Emily's not here. Taylor with the $5 says probably unpopular opinion, but it's so peaceful without the TikTok gifting. Well, I think I'm just used to it because I've been doing this forever. It's honestly just kind of different not seeing like a bunch of like cowboy hats and cat ears on my face all day. Hey, do you support Trump, Brooklyn?
Yes, sir, I do.
Age, please.
21.
Pronouns, please.
She, her.
Okay. I'm sorry. Just
Why
wanted
do
to confirm.
why do you need to know that?
You want me to be honest?
Yeah.
Wanted to make sure that you weren't a 13-year-old boy.
A 13-year-old boy? Who?
You asked me why I asked you that question. That's my honest response, Brooklyn.
That's gross.
Sorry about it. I was just being honest.
All right, I wanted to debate you about immigration.
What kind of truck is that in your profile picture?
That is a Chevy CK5. Oh shit, what the fuck is it? 1,500.
Okay, I don't know if it's a CK 1500. Let me know in that chat, but I do know it's a Chevy. I just wanted to make sure that this wasn't a troll. What state are you from?
Montana.
Are you a troll? Please just be honest. Like
No,
seriously.
I swear I just wanted to debate you.
Okay, but you just said Montana. What time is it?
Boy, you got me there. I'm from New Jersey.
Why did you say that you're from Montana?
Because I don't want people to know where I'm from. That's weird.
Okay. I'll trust you. Let me thank a couple people and then I'll pass the mic to you. If you're a troll, just leave while I'm thanking people because I do want real debates. I do want the opportunity to legitimately
I'm here
change
to
the minds of
debate you,
true
I
people.
promise.
Okay.
I just want to talk about
I'm just a little bit on edge because it's just been trolls all day long. So if you are a troll, just leave while I'm thanking a couple people. When I'm done thanking a couple people, I'll pass the mic to you. Miss Olivia, thank you for the $10 on Venmo. Says I love your streams. Keep being you. Thank you so much. Same thing to Julian. Thank you for the $11 who says buy yourself a Chipotle bowl, brochacho. Dude, I'm Qdoba over Chipotle, but I will buy a Qdoba burrito. I appreciate you, Julian. That's in fact exactly what I'm going to be getting for dinner after the stream. Brock, thank you for the $25 dono on Venmo. I'm not familiar with that in the slightest. I will have to take a look into that in order to give you my opinion, but just know that I really appreciate you. Fussy, thank you for the $4 on Venmo. Good to see you today. Bethany with the $2 says, why can't we send gifts on TikTok? They banned the ad ability. Liam, thank you for the $10 who says, Dean, thank you so much for teaching me about politics. Well, I'm so happy that we could get you more informed. We love that, Liam. As well as Grace, thank you for the $10 who says, can you talk about what $1 trillion really is? I feel like people are desensitized to the word and don't realize how insane that number is. We actually went through that on the stream the other day when we brought up Elon Musk. $1 trillion is so much money. Jesus, it's unfathomably. It's so insane. Over on PayPal, thank you so much, Gregory, for the $10. Gregory, I'll definitely take a look into that. Thank you so much. Abby with the $10 says, love watching your streams from Ontario. Well, thank you so much, Abby. I hope that you enjoyed the debates today. DMC with the $10 says, I'm hoping that you received my tips. I did send a question. If not, I will send it again. I'll check for that right now, DMC. Thank you so much, Caitlin, for the $5 as well. Brendan, thank you for the $5. What's up, Rocky? Good to see you today. Jamie, thank you for the $20. Who says, watching your streams makes me have more faith in humanity because you're making more of us educated. Well, I love that, Jamie. That is my goal. It's just to get people to think more critically. Just know that I appreciate you. And then Patience, thank you for the $40 donation. God damn, let's get 400 Patience W's. He says, I wish I could get my dad to debate you, even with the trolls. We appreciate you and your knowledge. Well, hey, listen, Patience, if you are able to convince your dad to debate me, let me know. Just drop like $1 dono saying that you're in the queue. I will happily allow you to skip to the front of that line. I love debating parents. DMC with another $10 says, I don't know if you got my question. Okay, I saw your second dono. I'll probably get to your first here in a moment. Brooklyn, thank you for the $15 who says, my first donation ever just to spite TikTok. Thank you so much, Brooklyn. Fuck TikTok. It seems like a lot of people are doing that today. Calissa with the $11 says, thank you for speaking up about the state of our country. Well, I appreciate you for that, love. Carolina and Aubrey, guys, thank you so much for the $5. Jessica, appreciate you for the $10. Shout out to you and your girlfriend. Shout out to Jessica and her girlfriend, seriously. And we do have a couple more people to thank, but I'm actually just going to go and pass the mic off to the guests right now, and I'll weave in those thank yous in the middle of the debate. I don't know what to say. You guys have just been so incredibly kind to me today. Literally, we just got banned. Happened again. Happened again. Happened again. It happened again, bro. Another 5-year ban. Bro. Again? A fucking gin? Nah, bro. Again? Age restricted. Again. Let me post something on my story on TikTok real quick. Hey guys, if you were just watching the live stream, it got banned. TikTok has once again hit us with another 5-year live ban for being under the age of 18. Something about this is really suspicious. I think that somebody at TikTok is targeting what we do and attempting... of course, it got cut off. Hey guys, if you're just watching the live stream, we just got another 5-year ban for being under the age of 18. This is suspicious. I think somebody's trying to get us taken down. We're still live on YouTube. Head over to Dean Withers without the letter E in that last name, Withers, on YouTube. We'll be live for another couple hours, and hopefully we'll be back up on TikTok soon. Alrighty, this is really strange. That's on my TikTok story. Somebody at TikTok is trying to fuck with me. I'm also going to post this on my Instagram story. I have no clue what is How can I speak so articulately when I'm live, but then as soon as I want to record a video, I can't do it. I just got my TikTok live stream taken down for the second day in a row with a 5-year ban for being under the age of 18. There's something really suspicious going on here. I think that somebody at TikTok might be targeting us because of what we do. If you happen to be watching that live stream, we're still live on YouTube. Check it out. Just my name, Dean Withers. We will be for a couple more hours doing debates, and hopefully we'll be back on TikTok shortly. And if there's any TikTok employees that happen to see this, you should try to get to the bottom of what's going on. 2 restrictions for 5 years. 2 days in a row on TikTok. I'm a 21-year-old man, plus I'm verified on the platform, so y'all know my age. What's going on? This is so strange. This is so strange. Yeah, we're going to hop back into the debates, folks. We're going to be on the Debate Dean Discord server. If you are a Trump supporter, head over to that Debate Dean Discord server. We're going to try to get it rolling back up on TikTok here in a bit. I'm going to reach out to them. It'll be quick. It'll be easy. Hopefully, at least. Hopefully, at least. We're just going to be doing debates on Discord in the meantime. Hopefully, this should only take around a couple minutes. 30 minutes. Hopefully, it should only take around 30 minutes to get access back on TikTok. So I guess we're just going to be hanging out on here in the meantime. Really weird. Alrighty. Before we hop back into the debates, I'm going to quickly submit this appeal. Are you under 18 years old? No. I'm over 18 years old. ID and selfies. Okay. What do you guys think? What do you... Well, let me ask you this question, because I have to let this video finish uploading to my Instagram story, so I can't submit the appeal on there. For everybody watching on YouTube, what do you guys think? What do you guys think is fucking going on? Because this is weird. This is really, really weird. Oh, am I still screen sharing? Oh. Yeah. What did I screen share? Just Discord? Yeah. That's fine. Thank you guys for letting me know. This is really weird. All right, let's quickly get this appeal submitted. Once we get the appeal submitted, we're going to go ahead and hop back into that first debate on the Debate Dean Discord, Linktree in the description of the video. Then while we're hopping into those debates, I'm going to reach out to TikTok. Okay, first step of submitting the appeal. Take a photo picture of my ID. Front side, use photo. Back side, use photo. Netanyahu! Please, Netanyahu. Spare me, Netanyahu. I love Israel. I love Israel, Netanyahu. Please, spare me. I love Israel, Netanyahu. I love Israel. Spare my account, Netanyahu. Please, please, please. Spare my account. I love Israel. Please. Didn't work. Netanyahu didn't hear my prayers. Bro, oh, by the way. Yo, dude. Did y'all know that Netanyahu was pro-Israel? I found a tweet on his X account the other day. It was the Israeli flag. I don't know. Maybe his account was hacked. I thought that was fucking crazy. But the tweet was a couple years old. Maybe he changed. All right. Let's do the facial fucking retina scanner identification. Okay, face forward and take a selfie. Use that photo. Turn your head to the left. Turn your head to the right. Under review. All right. Now I have to reach out to TikTok. But we'll go ahead and do that while we're debating. So I'm going to try my best to multitask, which I'm historically atrocious at. Jesus or Jesus, dependent upon how you pronounce your name, you are unmuted. Do you support Trump?
Yes.
How old are you?
Like 6, 7.
Alrighty. Let's see. Ethan, you are unmuted. Ethan, do you happen to be a supporter of Trump? Yeah, unmute yourself on your end and we'll be
Bro,
able to hear you.
Dean. Do you like Trump, Dean?
No, do you?
What?
Hattie, you are unmuted. Hattie, do you support Trump? You gotta unmute yourself on your end.
I don't, but my dad does, and I would love for you to debate him.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and throw him on. Actually, first, have you asked him?
No, he's not home right now, but he'll be home in a little bit. When he gets home, I was wanting to hop back on.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put you back on server mute. Feel free to leave the channel as you wish. Do whatever you want. But if you want to stay in the channel until he's home, you could do that too. Mr. Pornwall, I'm actually kind of scared of you. I'm gonna skip you for now. Anaya, you are unserver muted. Anaya, do you support Trump?
Hi, I just wanted to say I love you. You're the GOAT.
Thanks, Anaya. Moving on to Exodus. Exodus, you're unmuted. Exodus, do you support Trump?
No, I don't, but I'd love to.
President Mike, you're unmuted. President Mike, do you support Trump?
My dad does, and I was wondering if you could debate him later.
Yeah, sure. Guys, please only hop inside of that Discord call if and only if you're a Trump supporter. Do you support Trump? Bird, you're unmuted.
Oh, shoot. I'm so sorry. I did not realize I was unmuted. Yes, I do support Trump.
All right. Hey, first and foremost, I may ask you to repeat yourself a handful of times while I got you on the call, just because I am notoriously terrible at multitasking. And while we're doing these debates, I'll be multitasking by reaching out to TikTok to get my TikTok account unbanned. So I do apologize in advance for that. But why don't you take it away and tell us why you support Trump?
Alrighty. So I remember in past live streams you were talking about macroeconomics, was it?
Yes.
Okay. He has benefited, I believe. Okay. Would describe to me what a macroeconomic is in your view, please, so I have like a rough understanding.
Yeah, let me just shoot off this message, then I got you. Can't appeal it. Can I please be transferred to a senior specialist for further help? Alrighty, so yeah, a macroeconomic indicator is a gauge of the health of the economy at large. A better way that I might be able to help you understand what a macroeconomic indicator is just by giving you the definition. So, or I guess examples is what I meant to say. So common examples of macroeconomic indicators would include GDP growth, real median wage growth, investment into manufacturing, unemployment, employment, layoffs, bankruptcies, so on and so forth.
Okay. All right. So would you consider like corporate profits macroeconomic?
No, corporate profits are not a macroeconomic indicator, but corporate profits are growing at a slower rate today under Trump than they were in 2024 under Biden.
Okay. What about asset holders? Would you consider that?
How many asset holders there are? No.
Yeah. Would you consider that?
It's too vague to be a macroeconomic indicator.
Okay. And I remember past the live stream, you said stock market. You wouldn't consider that a macroeconomic, anything involving that, like any stocks or anything like that?
Yes, just because the stock market can bubble. But what I will say here is that the S&P 500 growth, for instance, was slower in 2025 under Trump than it was in Biden in 2024. So even if that was a macroeconomic indicator, it would still be one in which was better off under Biden.
Okay, and also I did just want to ask real quick, what stocks, I remember in past live streams, people were trying to bring this up. What stocks were like slowly going up under Trump? I'm trying to remember and do my own search on it, but I can't remember and I can't find
I
them
wouldn't be able to articulate specific stocks. I mean, we can look at index funds like the S&P 500, as I just clarified. But sir, why do you support Trump?
All right, I support Trump mainly because of his deportation. I am so sorry, excuse me, deportation policies. And I want to know what brand your washing machine is. And also, thank you, Tilly, for the profile picture. Also, Dean, I love you. Bye-bye.
Okay, I guess I was a troll. Moving on to the next guest, only opposite side of the queue. If you do happen to be MAGA, I'd really appreciate y'all so much for following the rules. Perky, you're unmuted. Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do. I'm 26.
Yeah, why do you happen to support Trump as president? By the way, for everybody saying Liv did it in the YouTube chat, I'm going to ban you guys. It's just misinformation promoting that. I just want to stick to the debates. Why do you support Trump?
Closed borders. Sorry, I'm just nervous for a lot of people. How he does borders. What else? Yeah, we can start with that, and once I think of more. So tell me what you think, why you don't think.
I don't think that he's closed the borders. I think that he's reduced undocumented entry, not by closing the borders, but by scaring it away, by violating the human, natural, and constitutional rights of the immigrants who are already here.
So let me ask you this. Do you think it's okay to have animals illegally here? Like animals that are invasive? You think it's okay to not have them here?
I guess I've never really thought about it. I guess I wouldn't be able to give you an answer on if I'm okay with animals illegally being here. It's not something I've thought about.
Okay, so, but do you think it's okay for invasive animals to be here?
Can you give me an example? It would be the
same logic for, like, let's say there's an invasive species in water and it's killing other animals. That's the same thing with illegal immigration. Illegal people are killing other animals or killing other humans.
Okay. Well, first, I guess I don't usually start off by comparing people to animals, but I guess we hold different perspectives on that issue. The second thing I'll say here is for undocumented immigrants who are murderers, they should definitely be sent to jail or deported if we can't send them to our jail. And then third of all, a vast majority of undocumented immigrants are not murderers or violent criminals. In fact, they are 2.5 times less likely to commit a violent crime in American soil compared to you, the average U.S.-born citizen. And fifth of all, the Trump administration is actually deporting undocumented immigrants at significantly lower with violent crimes on their records at significantly lower rates before the Democrats before them. Under Obama, over 20% of those deported had violent crimes on their record. Meanwhile, today under Trump, it's sub 5%.
Okay, you say they're not breaking or they're not like doing anything illegal here, right? But they're here in the country illegally. Isn't that breaking the law?
One second, I got to respond to this representative. Reaching out about the same issue I had earlier. I got a new 5-year ban for minimum go live age requirement. Can you please submit an appeal on my behalf? LOL, this is ridiculous. Here is my ID. Thanks for your help in advance. Again, you are awesome. Let me connect a picture of my ID. Bada boom. Bada bang. Alrighty. Would you like to repeat the last thing you said, please?
Yeah, so I was saying that you say they're not breaking the law and like they're better off here, right? But they're already here breaking the law if they came here illegally. So how is that not breaking the law?
Okay, so that's not what I said. What I said is that they are 2.5 times less likely to commit violent crimes on American soil, such as murder, because the first point that you made is that we should do a mass deportation because undocumented immigrants are here killing people.
Yeah, yes, that's true.
Right. So the point that I brought up, well, the 5 points that I brought up, I really wish that you listened, was first and foremost, they're 2.5 times less likely to commit violent crimes such as murder on American soil compared to you, the average U.S. citizen. The second thing I brought up is undocumented immigrants who do murder, who do commit violent crimes. They should either be sent to jail or deported. The third thing I brought up is Democrats before Trump deported undocumented immigrants with the violent crimes on their record at significantly higher rates than Trump is today. And the fifth thing that I'm now going to bring up is you're a fucking hypocrite because you don't care about violent crimes committed by Trump because the court found him guilty of raping a woman. You're still going to make him a president.
Okay, about that, Eugene Carroll, right? She's one of them. Look at the timestamps for that. She said, oh, it was in some jewelry store at this time, but she couldn't recall when it happened. So explain to me how that is.
When you say when it happened, do you mean the time of day? Do you mean the year? Do you mean the month? Do you mean the season? What do you mean when it happened?
Time of day, like when it happened, day of the week, everything.
Oh, yeah. I have a question.
Go ahead.
How old are you?
Told you 26.
26. Okay. Did you eat food when you were 7 years old?
Yeah.
Can you recall specifically what you ate on January 31st of 2010?
I mean, good point, but no.
Right. No, you can't because that was a really long time ago. Yeah. I bet a rape victim probably wouldn't be able to recall the specific time she was raped 30 years ago. More specifically, 23 years ago. Secondarily, I find this to be a very bad faith argument that you and many Trump supporters make for the reason being that this is not special. This is not unique, nor is it new. Eugene Carroll is not the one rape victim going against the grain. And in a sea of rape victims that can remember the exact day, time, and place they were raped, she can't. A lot of rape victims cannot recall the specific time they were raped because of a trauma response from the brain that attempts to suppress that information.
Okay, but what about when they opened a hotline? I'm not sure this is true, but they opened a hotline when he was doing his presidency run versus Kamala, and they had a tip line where they made people give tips about Trump that they had. Don't you think that's kind of a little biased? Of course, people are going to make tips about Trump because he's going to be president.
What are you referring to, and what does this have to do with Eugene Carroll and the rape case?
Because there was a lot of people saying they got raped by Trump when they opened a tip line.
I think
it was FBI or something.
I think what you're referring to would be the tips made to the FBI when Trump was president with their ongoing investigation into Jeffrey Epstein. This has nothing to do with any Democratic DOJ, nor does this have anything to do with the Biden-Harris administration, and this certainly doesn't have anything to do with why you reject the outcome of the court that determined Trump raped a woman.
Okay, but if he did that, then why is he not in jail right now? Why hasn't justice been served? Is it...
Yeah, point number one, RAIN.org reports that only around 2% of rapists end up facing full legal accountability for the crime. Point number two, I'm sure that you agree that Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell did not act alone, meaning that there are a bunch of other rapists in conjunction to the Epstein files that are not in jail. And point number three, it's because this was the verdict of a civil court. Civil courts can't send people to jail. And the reason why they couldn't prosecute this in a criminal court is because the statute of limitations had passed.
Okay. I mean, you got a lot of good points here, which, you're very informed on this topic. Let's see. So what's your opinion on abortion between Kamala and Trump? What makes you think Kamala is better for abortion than Trump?
You want to completely just stop talking about the Eugene Carroll case?
I mean, yeah, you made a good point. I can't argue with that, honestly.
Okay. Well, then do you accept that Trump is a rapist?
I mean, yeah, if you look at the files, he 1,000% is.
Okay. Why can't we agree that sexual predators shouldn't be president?
I mean, because they're sexual predators.
Can you repeat the question that I asked you, then repeat your answer?
You said, why shouldn't sex offenders be president?
No.
And I said, because they are sex offenders.
I said, why can't we agree that sexual predators shouldn't be president? But it seems like you're saying that sexual predators should not be president. So if you agree that sexual predators should not be president and you just accepted that Trump is a rapist, then you should be able to accept that Trump shouldn't be president.
True. I mean, you got a point there. Can't argue with that.
We're on a fucking roll today, dude. 3 Trump supporters, 3 changed minds.
Okay,
Maybe this
okay,
is why
one
TikTok
second
is
though.
taking us
Can,
down.
can you tell me why Kamala is a better president than Trump?
Yeah, she would have been a better president than Trump in literally all senses. Her character, for starters, I don't even need to give you an explanation on that outside of saying that there hasn't been a court that determined she raped anyone. Her policy, I think that her economic policy was much better. There was a massive focus on the reinsurgence of domestic manufacturing. Under the Biden-Harris administration, they were the best admin in modern American history for U.S. manufacturing. Since Trump took office, the economy's tanked. Third of all, she ran on tax cuts for the working class. I think that we need tax cuts for the working class, not more tax breaks for the top 1%, which is what Trump is doing. And fifth of all, she just wouldn't have been such an belligerent asshole on the global stage, starting needless wars of choice, distancing ourselves from our allies. And she wouldn't be an incompetent fool accidentally calling Zelensky Putin, or accidentally stating that Japan is attempting to nuke our naval vessels. Sorry, not nuke, missile strike our naval vessels, and referring to them as an Islamic Republic like Trump did yesterday.
Okay, so I have a question. So about taxes, do you agree on taxing the rich, like taxing the top 1%, like taxing Elon Musk, taxing Jeff
Yes.
Bezos? Okay, so this is just a question outside of the politics. Do you think that it'll help other people by taxing them? Don't you think prices will go up more for that company and wages will go down for that company?
If we tax a company more?
Yeah, so let's say we tax Elon Musk. Tesla prices are going to go down for people making less money, and prices are just going to go up for Tesla.
No, it's not how it works.
All right, well, that's all.
I could explain to you why that's not how it works.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. The first thing I'd say insofar as why that's not how it works is because maybe if we just want like a personal income tax, like we're taxing the profits that they would extract out of the corporation. Well, if anything, if we tax those profits a higher amount, well, then they're just incentivized to extract less from their corporation, leaving more in their business to reinvest back into their product, innovation, to get prices down, or higher wages for their employees. The second point that I'll bring up is that when we tax not profits that were extracted from the companies by the business owners or those receiving dividends, but rather just the profits that are retained inside of the company is then also more incentivized to invest more of that revenue back into the company and then write it off as a deductible business expense that could also influence more R&D, more innovation, and then drive their prices lower. I think that a lot of people have been propagandized into this lie that taxing the rich more, taxing corporations more, slows progress, increases prices, and reduces employee pay. But honestly, that couldn't be further from the truth when we're talking about corporate taxes and personal profit taxes / dividend taxes.
All right, well, that's what I want to talk about. Thank you for talking to me.
Yeah, were we able to change your mind?
Yep.
Cool. Awesome. Well, I appreciate you for joining. You take care, okay?
Yeah, have a good day. Yeah, you too.
Take care. Yeah, wow. We have talked to 3 Trump supporters today and changed everybody's mind. We have a 100% efficacy rate in changing minds. Wow, that is just incredible. Also, we are officially in line for a human moderator at TikTok to get us our account back. We're number 5 in line, so hopefully it shouldn't take too long, but I thought I'd just let everybody know because that is really exciting. Let me thank a couple people here real quick. Thank you so much for the $10. Amy, who says Netanyahu and Ellison are targeting you on behalf of the orange turd. Perhaps modify your debates to get rid of the 18-year-old idiots with no ability to think. Not gonna lie, it's getting old. I appreciate you for the $10, Amy, and I agree that they are targeting us. Siri, thank you so much for the $100 on Super Chat. Thank you so much for that love and support, Siri. Siri with $100 says, TikTok is censoring you even when you go by the community guidelines. This has been happening to creators like me for years. Unfortunately, this is the world that we live in now. Weaponizing age verification against political dissenters on an app owned by TikTok's buddy, by Trump's buddy. It is a fucking mess, Siri. I really appreciate you for the $100. It really pisses me off. It really pisses me off. Elena, thank you for the $50. She says, Dean, I hope that you're well. I've had a busy life recently, but I started playing live music again and performing frequently, so I haven't had much time to be in here. Also, sorry for all the trolls. I'm glad to be back. Well, it's good to see you, Elena. I feel like it has been a while since we've spoke. Thank you for the $50. I really appreciate you for being here, and you are the GOAT. Couple more people to thank on Super Chat to catch up quickly. Thank you so much, Marley, for the 10 Canadian dollars, who says, I'm Canadian, but I watch your streams every day. You are the GOAT. Freddie with the $20. Nice lyrics, I guess. Thank you so much. Samantha with the $10 says, can we get an office tour? Everything you see is the only part of the office I want you to see. The other the other parts of the office that are off camera could get a little bit messy from time to time. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Bread for the $20, who says, this can also happen on TikTok from people reporting you for being underage, even if it is not true. Probably true. It's just their auto moderation system. It is a fucking disgrace, man. Then Matthew with the $10, who says, what do you think about the Genius Act? That was a bipartisan agreement. I thought it was okay. Elizabeth, thank you for the $20, who says, did he just say that pedophilia is becoming common? That doesn't make it okay or mean that our president is a defensible person in any other way. I forget who said that, but if a Trump supporter said that, we ended up changing their mind because we've changed all the Trump supporters' minds today of the people that we've talked to. So I guess it's a good thing that he ended up conceding it. Then Anon with the $20, who says, quote, if you can't change minds, then change a mirror, is actually kind of deep. That is kind of deep. I appreciate you for the $20, Anon. Same thing to Nug with the $10, who says, favorite music artist to listen to? Definitely the Backseat Lovers. And with all that being said, we're caught up on Super Chat. Let's quickly get caught up on PayPal. I'm pretty sure that we have quite a few people to thank over on PayPal. Thank you so much for the love. Natalie with the $20, who says, as a rape survivor who reported too late for anything to be done, thank you so much for explaining to that guest the way in which the system works. Well, I appreciate you for the $20, Natalie, and I'm so sorry that that happened to you, and I'm so sorry that you have to hear these rape apologists. Serenity, thank you for the $27, who says, I'm Canadian, but I love watching these streams. I admire your dedication, as this seems so emotionally and mentally exhausting. It can be from time to time, Serenity. Recently, I've been getting better at dealing with it, but it definitely has been very exhausting in the past. Thank you so much for the $27. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much as well for the $10, Jessica. And then Lexington, thank you for the $50, who says, TikTok tries to keep shutting you up. Yeah, you've been talking about expanding into long-form content for a while now. If there's a higher power, it's probably wondering how much more obvious it has to make the hint. Seriously, though, these live streams change lives. Love you, dude. Which is exactly why we get these live streams restricted. It is fucking ridiculous, Lexington. But just know that I really appreciate you for the $50. And then same thing to you, Michelle. Thank you for the $10. I appreciate you so much. Nathan, thank you for the $5. Jacob, thank you for the $25, who says, never believe that MAGAs are totally unaware of the absurdity of their replies. They're amusing themselves. I definitely do agree that that is true in many scenarios, and honestly, it's fucking annoying. Shy, thank you for the $20, who says, I usually catch your VODs, but have been starting to watch your streams on YouTube. Having you on in the background really helps the day go by faster. Well, I'm so happy that we could help your days pass by, save you that boredom. Thank you for the $20, as well as Pumpkin. Thank you so much for the $67 donation on PayPal. Oh my God. Pumpkin with the $67 says, crazy that TikTok is trying to shut down one of the most popular creators. Here's $67 for the grift. And Pumpkin sent that a long time before we even got banned on TikTok, so it is definitely true. Then DMC, thank you so much for the $10, and Ro, thank you for the $10. I'm so happy to hear that you enjoy the live streams. And then Christopher, thank you for the $10 as well. We are caught up on Super Chat. We are caught up on PayPal. We do have a couple people to thank on TikTok, but we are going to go ahead and hop into that next debate first before we do. Banta, B-A-N-T-A, you are unmuted. Do you support Trump?
Yes, Dean, I do support Trump.
Okay, how do you?
I am 19.
Okay, and what time is it?
The fuck you mean what time is it?
I mean exactly what I said.
That's none of your business, Dean.
Okay. All right. Peace out. Moving on to the next guest. D. Dill9999. You're unmuted. Dill9999. Do you support Trump?
Bro, Dean, yes, I love Trump.
Okay. A bit of background noise. Is there... Could you go into a different room or something?
Yeah, I'm gonna go into a different room, Dean.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
Okay. Why do you support
Do you like
Trump?
Trump? Because he's must.
What is must?
Trump is pure must, bro. Why don't you like Trump?
Because Trump bad?
Wait, what? Do you like Israel?
Well, no. I don't really like Israel too much. I'm a little bit hesitant saying that, but I guess we're already banned on...
I feel like we need you to go into Gaza if you don't like Israel.
Why would I go into Gaza if I don't like Israel?
Because we need to show you that Trump is must.
I think this guy's trolling. Let's go to get the next guest. Unmuted. Milo, you're unmuted. Milo, do you support Trump?
Yo, what's up, Dean? Yeah, I do.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 18.
What year were you born in?
2008.
What month?
March.
And why do you support Trump?
I just think he's a great guy. Why don't you support him?
Oh, I'm not going to let you burden shift on me. Why do you think that he's a great guy?
I like his abortion states.
Oh, okay. Do you think that abortion should be banned in circumstances of rape?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, okay. I have a question. If you needed my bodily resources to live, do you think that the government should be able to force me into providing them to you?
Yes.
Okay. I think that you're lying.
Why would I be lying?
Because that's just an absurd belief. Like, do you agree that if you were to donate a kidney to the organ transplant list, that you'd likely save a life?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. So you think that the government should be able to force you to do that literally right now because it would likely save a life?
I would do it. I would do it even.
I didn't ask you if you would do it. I'm asking you if you think the government should force you to do that right now.
Yeah.
Okay. I just
Probably.
think that you're lying. I just think that you're fucking lying. Moving on to the next guest. Princess Ren, you're unmuted. Do you support Trump?
Hi. Yes, but I was wondering if you could just answer a couple questions.
After you tell us why you support Trump, sure.
Well, because my family does.
Okay, so you support Trump because your family does. So you support the things that your family support. So if your family was like Southern heritage, hell yeah, pro-Confederacy, you'd be pro-Confederacy too?
No.
Okay. So then you don't support Trump merely because your family does. Because if it was true that you just supported everything that your family does, well, then you would be pro-Confederate if your family was too. Maybe it's because your family like has given you reason to support Trump. They've told you things. Like, what have you heard about why you think he's a good president?
They say that he does good things for taxes, is getting rid of people that shouldn't be in the country. But okay, to be fair, I have dual citizenship. To be fair, we don't actually live in the States, but they still tell me these things.
Okay. All right. Okay. So like, what's your favorite Trump policy?
Well, I guess that like he's lowering taxes.
Oh, he's lowering taxes. Okay, well, he's not lowering taxes effectively for the average American. The Center on Budget and Policy Priority tells us that he's actually taking purchasing power away from the working class. But you told me that you have a couple questions for me. Feel free to ask those now. I just wanted to make sure that you're an actual Trump supporter.
Yeah, so I wrote down some questions on my tablet. I wanted to ask what actions or policies of Trump's concern you the most and why.
Okay, well, I think that his bans on abortion concern me the most because for every woman that has her access to abortion infringed upon, that is an active human rights violation. So that amount to 66 million human rights violations. Another big one would be his reform in government expenditure. That's really concerning. It took healthcare away from 10 million low-income Americans, food stamps away from 3 million low-income Americans, when we already have 51,000 low-income Americans die every single year via lack of access to health insurance. Not to mention he defunded USAID that the Lancet projects will kill 14 million people globally over the course of the next 4 years. And that also would then tie into his foreign policy, such as starting wars in Iran, distancing us from our allies. And I just generally hate his rhetoric, too, concerning marginalized communities, women, members of the LGBTQ plus community, and then also his attack on the rule of law, selling pardons, infringing on the Constitution, J6, when he tried to literally rig the election to win the election by installing fake votes for himself in Congress. These are among the most concerning things. How do you feel about everything I just said? And how do you think you could compartmentalize everything that I just said into your mindset of still yet persisting to support Trump as president?
I'm kind of just taking it in. But how? Okay. I think I kind of understand what you're saying. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not sensing a debate. Feel free to continue to watch on YouTube. Feel free to continue to watch on YouTube. I think that'd be really meaningful to you. Let's go to get that next guest unmuted. Only opposite side of the queue. If you do happen to be an American adult that supports Trump as president, Exodus, do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
What year were you born in?
2007.
And oh my. I'm going to have you tell us why you support Trump as president, but before you do, I'm quickly going to thank a couple people. Sean, thank you for the $15, who says, what do you think of Jubilee's new fact-check format? I love it. I'm super excited to watch their show on this Friday when it comes out. I'm super excited to watch it. Anonymous, thank you for the $50, who says, keep on trucking. This is the bad place. Bro, for real, this is the bad place. Thank you so much for the $50. Let's get 500 in on W's. I am very, very, very grateful for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Same thing to Kat with a $5, who says, been watching a while, really starting to feel that the kids and the people for real are being paid to tank your streams. Dude, I know it's time for us to put our tinfoil hats on. Annika with the $10 says, fuck TikTok, 2 bans in 24 hours is crazy. It is so crazy, especially when I'm a fucking adult. I swear to God, I'm an adult. Jamie, thank you for the $20, who says 2 important things. First, will you publicly condemn Tim Walz for pardoning an immigrant who raped a 10-year-old? Yes, I think that he should resign from office, and if not, then Minnesota should vote him out. I heavily condemn him for that. Secondly, the Discord debate chat won't allow more than 10 people at once. I know that's intentional, and the reason why that's intentional is to allow the bitrate to be spared for 10 people, because when we have like 100 people in the call, it just makes everything really laggy. Miss Victoria, thank you so much for the $50. Thank you. Who says, did you know that independent media personalities are listed as bad actors on whitehouse.gov, the big ones? Yes, I am familiar with that. Like Brian Tyler Cohen and David Pakman, for instance. I did see that. Thank you for the $50. Gail, thank you for the $20, who says, what's even more suspicious is when your life ended today and yesterday, the usual banned verbiage doesn't appear. It just says live has ended. I have a screenshot from today. Dude, something weird is going on, Gail. Suzanne, thank you for the $40, who drops a little thumbs up emoji. Thank you so much for that love, Suzanne. Show some massive love to Suzanne down below in the chat. That is very, very kind of you. Holy crap. As well as Spence with a $25, who says, what are your thoughts on capital punishment? Idealistically, not against it in some scenarios. Practically, I am against it in like a vast majority of all scenarios. That's my thoughts, Spence. Thank you for the $25. Savannah with the $1 says, is this you? It sure is. And then Taylor and Sierra, I appreciate you all so much for the love. Exodus, go to take it away and tell us why you support Trump.
Awesome. I support Trump mainly for his viewpoints on abortion ethics.
Okay. Would you say that this ultimately reduces down to you wanting to like save as many human lives as possible?
Yes, I would.
Okay. So hypothetically, if Kamala Harris would have saved more innocent human life than Trump, even in consideration of abortion, would you argue in retrospect that she should be president today?
Yeah, I've heard this. I would say yes.
Okay, well then I'm sure that you're familiar with a study conducted by The Lancet that concludes that over the course of the next 4 years, 14 million people are projected to die via Trump's cuts to USAID. She wouldn't have defunded USAID, meaning that in comparison to Trump, she would have saved 14 million lives over the term. Meanwhile, I mean, how many lives is Trump saving with the abortion bans? Well, so far none, because the amount of abortions in America has only gone up. So if it is true that you would support Kamala Harris if she in retrospect would have saved more innocent life, if that is true, then it would follow that you would now concede your support for Trump and argue in retrospect that you should have voted for Harris.
That is very true. I would concede to the fact that I would support Kamala under this principle. But what I would like to debate you on more so is abortion ethics as a whole. So under the fact that Kamala would have saved more innocent human lives, I would now support Kamala. That is true. But I would still hold my beliefs of pro-life on abortion ethics if you would like to continue that.
Yeah, well, the purpose and the point of these live streams are talking to people about why they support Trump. But I know that you've been waiting a while. So I'll have a short conversation with you before I move on, but don't expect it to be too exhaustive. Do you think that abortions for rape victims are wrong?
Yes, I do.
Why is that?
The main reason is, number one, we don't punish third parties for the crime of another.
Yeah, I accept that. That's true.
Yes, awesome. Number two, is going to be the fact that somebody is essayed or the fact that somebody experienced this event does not now give you or give that person the right to go like murder their neighbor, etc. Right? I mean, those would probably be the main reasons.
Okay. Okay. Well, this is perfect because I don't deny either of those two principles, and I don't have to deny either of those two principles to describe why rape victims should be able to access abortion. When I argue that it's not wrong for a rape victim to access abortion, when I argue that it should be legal for a rape victim to access abortion, I don't say that it is because the fetus should be punished for the crimes of the parent, or because the woman is raped, she should therefore be able to kill people, but rather because there's just simply no obligation that pregnant rape victim would have to maintain that pregnancy and keep that fetus alive. In the same way that if, like, I don't know, are you familiar with like the famous violinist hypothetical?
No, I'm not.
Okay, I'll just give you a brief rundown, but I'm going to put it into different terms, so it's a little bit more modern day. You'll be able to track a little bit easier. There's this guy, his name is Max Irby. He's like 14 or 15. He needs a stem cell transplant really, really badly. His dad has started a campaign to collect potential DNA matches for him. So far, they've collected over 40 million DNA samples, and they found 0 matches. What this means is if there is a match alive, there's probably only one. Let's assume that the government found out today that you are the only stem cell match for Max Irby alive. In the middle of the night, they kidnap you. Then you wake up in a cell connected to Max Irby by an IV cord. And then the government tells you that this IV cord is like very slowly over time giving Max Irby some of your stem cells. And if you stay connected to him via this IV for 9 months, he'll end up living and you'll save his life. But once again, they're doing this against your will. All that you have to do to go back to your life and escape and evade this against your will conquest to take your bodily resources away from you and to leave the situation is just to simply disconnect that IV cord from your arm. But in doing so, Max Irby would die. Do you think that there would be anything wrong with you saying, I'm fed up, I'm not going to stand for this, I have a life, I was kidnapped and forced into this scenario, I'm going to go ahead and leave now, by disconnecting that IV cord, basically causing Max Irby's death? Is there anything wrong with that?
Yeah, no, I would say there's nothing wrong with that. Do you believe in causal relation, Dean?
Do I believe that things can have a causal relationship between one another?
Yeah, like say a parent and a child have like some sort of like causal relation. Like the parent has some sort of obligation to like give their child you know, resources to keep their child alive or to take care of their child. We know that parents can, you know, put their children up for adoption.
Do you mean to say parental obligation? Or like parental relation? I'm pretty sure that you're misusing the phrase causal.
No, I would just say like any of these 3 types of relations. So, I mean, number 1, we have like special relationships. Are you familiar with what that is?
Special relationships? No. I don't know how you're cashing out special relationships, but I'm probably familiar with how you'd cash out causal or parental relationships. But how's this relevant to maybe the analogy that I just gave about Max Irby and how in the hypothetical you think that you should have the ability to disconnect from Max? In the real world, a rape victim should have the ability to quote-unquote disconnect from the fetus, take an abortion pill, then cut off the supply of progesterone through the umbilical cord to the fetus, basically causing the fetus's death, and how this wouldn't be wrong for the same reasons why it wouldn't be wrong for, in the hypothetical, to disconnect from Max Irby causing his death.
Yeah, of course. Because in the hypothetical, I would say that there is no sort of like causal relation from me to Max Irby, right?
What's a causal relation between a rape victim and the fetus? They didn't cause the pregnancy.
Yeah, of course. The causal relation is just going to be like some sort of like parental relation, right?
Well, a causal relation is different than a parental relation.
No, I would argue that they're very synonymous terms.
Okay. What is a causal relationship?
A causal relationship is just going to be like in any situation where something is, you know, caused in a sense that is going to create some sort of like special relationship, you know, with like what has occurred.
Okay. The one word that you said there that is relevant to what a causal relation or causal obligation would be the word cause. So when we use the phrase causal, more specifically causal obligation in debates on abortion ethics, that phrase is usually cashed out by pro-lifers that will argue because a woman consented to the act of sex knowing that could lead to the pregnancy, she therefore caused that pregnancy, and more specifically caused that fetus to be in a state of dependence on her bodily resources. And because that is an outcome that she caused by engaging in the action of sex, therefore she has an obligation to provide for that state of dependency. That's like when we bring up causal relations and causal obligations and debates about abortion ethics, that's the way that we bring them up. Okay. So when we're talking about rape victims, I don't think that there's any relevance or any way that one could mention a causal obligation due to the fact that the rape victim didn't cause the pregnancy. They were raped, so there would be no causal obligation. I think that what you mean to say is a parental relation or a parental obligation, where because there's a biological relationship between the pregnant rape victim and the fetus, that therefore there's this type of parental obligation in which that pregnant woman who is raped would have to provide for the needs of the fetus. Is that what you mean to say?
I mean, you know, perhaps in a sense, I think my semantics for a causal relation wouldn't entirely imply some sort of like will, intent, or choice on behalf of the agent to cause this relationship. I wouldn't believe that like any type of intent or will is going to be needed to create this relationship. I think there's situations where this relationship can be created regardless of like a will, intent, or a cause, right? But I was going to ask you.
I disagree. I disagree. There has to be some type of will or intent in order to instantiate, or like neglect, I guess, in order to instantiate a responsibility for that causal relationship. And you could only you could only create a causal obligation for a relationship born out of responsibility for what was caused. Like, I'll give you an example. If you go to the grocery store and there's one ham sandwich left and you buy it to eat it for lunch, and it was the last ham sandwich that that grocery store will ever fucking have, and then right after you buy that ham sandwich, somebody else comes in and they try to buy a ham sandwich, but because you bought the last one, they can't get one. Oh, but come to find out they're allergic to everything but ham sandwiches, so then they don't have any food and they die from starvation. Would you argue that you caused their death because you bought the last ham sandwich and that was an event in a sequence of events that led to that person dying from starvation? No, clearly not. Because although it is descriptively in the causal chain of events that led to their death, okay, well, you're not responsible for that causal chain of that causal sequence of events that led to their death,
your action
because you didn't
enacted the
intend
manner
to
of
or
their
choose
death.
to do that.
Okay, but would you not agree that your action enacted the manner of their death?
Your action enacted the manner of their death? Well, yeah, it was involved with the creation of the manner of their death. And even being involved in or causing the manner of somebody's death isn't something that I think is always wrong, nor something that you think is always wrong, like in the Max Irby hypothetical that I gave you. By disconnecting from Max Irby, okay, that is an action that is not only involved in the sequence of events that led to Max Irby's death, but it was something that you did so intentionally, knowing that it would lead to Max Irby's death, yet you still don't think it's wrong. So it seems like any type of causal relationship or causal obligation that a rape victim would have is just completely irrelevant due to the fact that in the hypothetical scenario I gave you, you definitely caused Max Irby's death, yet you still don't think there's anything wrong in doing so because you don't have an obligation to prevent Max Irby's death.
Yeah, of course. I mean, but under like, if we follow this logic, we're presupposing that a causal relationship needs some sort of will or intent. I can give you an example of how a causal relationship doesn't exactly need any type of like will or intent, in a sense to.
Well, I reject that. I also brought up neglect, and I don't think that's
Do
exhaustive.
you have a motivation for your semantics?
I said that I also brought up neglect, but I don't think that that's exhaustive. But the point is how does any of this relate to why you think it's wrong for a rape victim to get an abortion? Because we could clearly identify a causal relationship between you disconnecting the IV from your arm, leading to Max Irby's death in the hypothetical scenario I gave you. You still did not argue that that was wrong. So what's the relevance of a causal relationship between a rape victim getting an abortion and the fetus dying that explains why you think that action is wrong?
Well, yeah, of course. The relevance of a causal relationship in this sense, right, is that your body, right, whether it was your consciousness or your mind choosing to do this, right, you know, my stance is that a causal relationship doesn't need intent or like any type of will right? Your body still put this child into a state of dependency on your body's resources. Therefore, I think a causal relationship has been created in this situation that would create some sort of like obligation for you to like take care of this child or of this child, right?
Perfect.
Like,
So,
say,
so to reduce your argument, because fetus is in a state of dependency on the body of the rape victim, therefore the rape victim has an obligation to care for that dependency. True or false?
yeah, I would agree.
Okay. And the hypothetical that we talked about with Max Irby, is Max Irby in a state of dependency on your bodily resources being supplied to him through the IV cord?
Yes.
Okay. Therefore, you'd have an obligation to provide for Max Irby's dependency, but you don't. That's a contradiction?
I mean, okay, yeah, I can concede to that. I would agree. That would be a contradiction.
Okay. So what this contradiction tells us that you don't think merely having somebody else being in a state of dependency on your bodily resources generates an obligation to provide for that dependency. Therefore, your last argument was not exhaustive nor sufficient in describing why you think a rape victim accessing abortion is morally wrong. So would you like to try again in describing why you think a rape victim accessing abortion is morally wrong?
I think I would concede on that for now. I'd love to try again, like in the future, though. I appreciate the time, Dean.
Appreciate you too, dude. Take care. Alrighty, he left. Alrighty, let's go to get the next guest going here. I got a little bit lost in the sauce there talking about causal relationships, but I brought it back there in the end, so dubs. Bella, you are unmuted. Bella, do you support Trump? Bella, you have to unmute yourself on your end, but you are no longer server muted. Okay, we're going to go to kick Bella. Move on to the next guest. Gianna, you are unmuted. Do you support Trump?
Hello?
Hey, do you support Trump?
No, but I have a question.
I'm so sorry. Real Hacker, you are unmuted. Do you support Trump? Hello? You're not here. Midwest Fire Shots, do you support Trump?
I do, but I'm trying to get my family's very Democrat, and I don't understand it in a way,
Okay.
but like
How old are you?
I kind of support Trump. I'm 18. I was born April 18th, 2008.
Okay. First and foremost, y'all are going crazy in that YouTube chat. Y'all are going
I know I've been
crazy in
looking
that
at it the
YouTube
entire
chat.
time. I'm like, holy hell.
Yeah. Can we calm down? Can we calm down a little bit in that YouTube chat? Holy moly.
They're blaming it
Saints,
all on Mar, by
here,
the
let me
way.
thank a couple people, then Mike will be yours. Saints with the $10 says, I've been gone for 30 minutes. Any update on the TikTok situation? Yeah, sure. I'll actually give you guys an update on the TikTok situation. We actively have a moderator at TikTok taking a look at that restriction as we speak. It's just taking them a while. So hopefully that we'll get an update on that here soon. Freddie, thank you for the $10 on Super Chat. Paula with the $20. Then to drop a message, just attach that love. I really appreciate you. Elizabeth with the $20 as well says, it's not semantics. Words need to be used correctly, and you are using a causal relationship incorrectly. Quit trying so hard to sound smart because you're exposing your ignorance more plainly to be perfectly plain. I appreciate you for the $20. Yeah, he was using that phrase incorrectly. As well as DJ, thank you for the $69 donation on Super Chat. Oh my God, DJ, you are so cool. Show some massive love to DJ down below. What the hell? One moment, DJ. Molly says our moderation team was unable to verify your age, and for privacy and security reasons, our live chat team is unable to transfer any personal user data through our communication channels. All live appeals must be completed in the app. I did submit an appeal. Can you ask them if they could access that? Additionally, we were connected earlier today and the moderation team was able to verify my age. That's really weird. They're telling me that the moderation team can't verify my age. What do you mean by that?
people probably, I had that issue a few months ago. People spam report and then they have to go through like a whole process. Like it takes like 2 or 3 days, unfortunately. I know it worked for you earlier.
Wow.
It's just because TikTok's AI moderation is just not it.
Yeah, yeah. I agree, Midwest. Here, give me one moment here, man. I'm sorry that I'm
No, you're
delaying the
good.
debate.
No, you're good.
Submit an appeal. To verify my age again, or at least share the information they used earlier to verify my age. Um, this is so weird. This is really weird for everybody watching. I don't like this, you guys. So earlier, the mod team was able to verify my age, and then they took the appeal off of my account.
Let me look into this for you.
No, don't worry about it, Midwest. Don't worry about it. I know that I got you on the line and you're unmuted, but I'm just kind of generally talking to like everybody watching, not you. So don't worry about
you're
it.
good. My buddy suffered with the same thing. It got him unbanned.
Yeah, this
Let's
is.
see.
I think that something just really smells weird with this. I don't know. Midwest, why don't you take it away and tell us why you support Trump?
So one thing that I personally like I prefer with there's only two things that I follow behind him. Everything else is absolute dog crap. What he's I'm a big law enforcement and firefighter guy. I do a lot of photos for them and everything all around Chicago and all like that. So one thing that I've been noticing is the law enforcement and criminal justice. He's pursued the death penalty for heinous crimes, and that's something that in Indiana that they're going through because of Trump. That any officer who is shot and killed by a criminal, or any canine officer, any law enforcement servant, or any first responder that is killed due to heinous actions is pursued the death penalty. Do you agree with that?
Do I agree with that? No, because I just disagree with the death penalty practically.
Okay, so as a switch up, would you rather prefer them? Like honestly, life in jail would be better, but they're gonna
life in
get
jail. They're
gonna get.
Would you ever
documentaries made
support
against them.
somebody as president who would argue that people who kill cops, or at least try to kill cops, are patriots that should be roaming free?
No, anybody who kills a cop should be in jail.
Okay. Donald Trump gave full and complete presidential pardons to 176 J6 riders who tried to kill cops on the steps of the Capitol. I'll give you a specific example. DJ Rodriguez was at the Capitol in J6 2021. Officer Fanone was guarding the Capitol. Now, Officer Fanone was beat to the ground with metal rods. DJ Rodriguez got a stun gun out of his equipment belt, drove it into Officer Fanone's neck, gave him a heart attack. Officer Fanone was rushed off to the hospital. If he wasn't, he would have died. DJ Rodriguez pled guilty, went to jail for 10 years. Trump let him out 4 years in on January of last year in 2025 and called him a patriot.
That is not correct. That
It is.
That's one thing that should not have happened, which I completely disagree. Some of the pardons, like maybe like 2 or 3, have been beneficial and proper, but all the rest of them are malarkey. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you're gonna sit there and presidential pardon these people who are actively attacking law enforcement, and if you can notify me, I'm sorry, I'm not currently up to date with it. How many law enforcement officers died on that day?
How many? So none died on that day. One died the next day. And for the most part, it was just a bunch of assaults and attempted murder, but no actual murder on the day of.
And I'm assuming most of those people got adjourned, correct?
When you say adjourned, what do you mean? Just went to jail?
Yes, they were in jail and then they were pardoned, correct?
Yeah, every single one of them. Not most, every single one of them.
Okay, I was not aware of that. My apologies. I was under the impression that the ones that did not cause bodily harm were the ones that were released. I should have read up on that. That's my apologies.
Yeah, he released them all.
That's gonna have to talk about that with somebody. And then one other thing that I'm supportive of is his cybersecurity. Yes,
Okay.
the cybersecurity's been getting hacked at the same time that it's been going on, but I feel like there's a little bit more of a crackdown on cybersecurity that's helping the Americans with being, obviously bank accounts are still being hacked and money's being withdrawn and all this other stuff. Court dates and court information is being leaked and released without proper guidance and without the proper legislation. But what's your standpoint on the cybersecurity and transnational crime?
Give me one moment here, man. I'm just being honest with TikTok at this point. I said, this is for everybody. So they just told me that they basically can't help. I said, I wish that I knew why the moderation team couldn't help me now, but they could earlier. I guess it's okay. This just feels like intentional censorship. I'm one of y'all's largest streamers. I had over 30,000 concurrent viewers when the stream was taken down. I really wish that you guys could do something to help immediately. Delaying me days is a really big deal. Is there any possible solutions that have not already been explored? If not, I might end up making a video on this due to the fact that I honestly don't feel like I'm getting too much help from you guys, and this whole experience is rubbing me the wrong way, and once again feels like intentional censor. Oh no, the whole message just went away. I have to retype it. No, that's actually crazy. Does anybody remember what I just said out loud? Are there...
You're basically saying how you feel like you're talking to them too much, where there's just censorizing you.
Thanks, Midwest. Here, give me one moment. Are there any possible solutions that haven't been explored yet? I understand you're telling me these tickets can solve the issue in a manner of days. However, I'm looking for a faster solution, as losing days from streaming is a really big deal. If there is not any other solutions that have not been explored, I might end up making a video on this and will include my honest thoughts on the possibility of this being censorship. I say this because not only am I one of your platform's largest streamers, but I'm also verified. You guys should already have my ID and birth date on record from that. Boom. Why won't it let me send the message? I guess we're beefing with TikTok today, everyone.
I swear, TikTok's the worst sometimes. Nice plant, by the way.
Yeah, thanks, Midwest. Okay. I'm going to run one last thing on you, man, then I'm probably going to move on to the next guest. So,
No, you're good.
before I informed you about all of Donald Trump's pardons of the violent J6 rioters who tried to kill cops, I asked you, well, if somebody was president and they let violent attempted cop killers out of jail and called them patriots, would you ever support them as president? And you said no. Well, then I proved to you that that's exactly what Trump has done.
That is correct. You've changed my political view.
Love that, man. Hey, listen, you have a good rest of your day, okay?
May I ask you one question?
For sure.
What is your Qdoba order? Because I work at Chipotle.
Let's see here. Black bean burrito with brown rice, bunch of sweet pork, a little bit of queso, the Fritas chips, and some cheese. That's the fucking order, dude. You have a good rest of your day, man. We are 4 for 4 today with the Trump supporters. We are 4 for 4. I would say that that is really impressive. I'm not going to lie, guys. I think that I may end up making a video on this. I feel like I'm being intentionally suppressed and like no one gives a fuck. I'll read you guys a last message that I sent to the TikTok rep after they said that she can't do anything to help. I said, are there any possible solutions that haven't been explored yet? I understand that you're telling me these tickets can solve the issue in a matter of days. However, I'm looking for a faster solution as losing days from streaming is a really big deal. If there are not any solutions that have, if there's not any other solutions that have not been explored, I might end up making a video on this and will include my honest thoughts on the possibility of this being censorship. I say this because not only am I one of your platform's largest streamers, but I'm also verified. You guys should already have my ID and birth date on record from that. She responds by saying, I completely hear your frustration, Dean, and I know exactly how critical every single day of streaming is for you and your community. Please know that there is absolutely no censorship happening here. This is a strict automated safety flag regarding the age verification policy. Huh. They already have my ID on record. However, since you are a verified creator and have already submitted the offline session card, I'm personally taking your case and pushing it directly to our internal management team right now to expedite the review of the ID we have on file. I'm doing everything I can to get you back as fast as possible. I will monitor this closely and ensure that you get an update the second it is reviewed. Oh. Okay. So before I threaten to make... By the way, this is a real person. This is a real person. And everybody in the comment section is saying AI. No, they just talk like AI because they have to be hyper-professional. So before I threaten to possibly make a video... She was like, nothing we could do, 24 hours, maybe on a good day. After I threatened to make a video, I'm personally taking this to internal management team. Huh. Very nice. Okay. Thank you, Molly. I don't know how long that process takes. Should I stay connected to this chat? I don't mind if it's something that can be resolved in less than an hour. I guess we'll wait and see. I guess we'll wait and see. I know that this is a real person though. I know that this is a real person, though, and that this is not AI because I've spoken with her before. Her name's Molly. Finally doing something. Someone in the chat says now they can't argue with a person like you. Well, I mean, listen. I try to be as amicable, kind, and sometimes even take a shot that I don't think was deserved or true when I'm talking to customer service representatives, you know, including the people at TikTok, because at the end of the day, just a lady trying to work her job. I always try to be super duper duper kind to customer service, in all senses, regardless if it's just getting food at a restaurant or even like talking to somebody with TikTok. You know what I mean? So like, I'll take an unfair shot here or there, and I won't say, oh, technically you're wrong. So it's not, you know, I let a lot of shit slide when I'm talking to the TikTok reps that I wouldn't let slide if I was debating somebody on live. But, you know, I'm grateful that they're hopefully helping us. T, you are unmuted. Do you support Trump? You got to unmute yourself on your end.
Hi, so I just like to say something before you kick me. So I don't want to.
Sorry. Lola, you're unmuted. Lola, do you support Trump?
No, but I want to know why you don't like Israel.
Oh, no. Where are you from?
No, we're innocent. We didn't do anything.
Israel didn't do anything?
No.
Are you in Israel? Do you live in Israel?
You know, yes. And you know that.
Do you mind if I ask you, like, do you go on, like, social media at all?
Yes.
When you go on social Israel, when you go on social media, do you ever like get information on your For You page about what Israel's doing from critics of Israel?
You know, you are brainwashed if you believe this, because we didn't start anything.
Can you answer my question?
You know,
Like,
over
hey,
200
Hey.
people were kidnapped and killed.
Hey. When you go on social media, do you ever see any like information from critics of Israel?
Yes.
Okay. One moment. Before I disconnect, I'm sending another message to the representative. What is the estimated timeline on this review from internal management? Okay, back to you. So you do see like information from critics of Israel on your For You page. What kind of news do you watch? Where do you get your news from?
TV and
TV. Like
TikTok and
TV. Okay.
all the social media. Wow, I'm nervous. Sorry.
Okay. The expedited review by the internal management, they're telling me that it's going to take 24 hours. The same time that the review would have taken before the TikTok representative told me that they're going to personally take the case to internal management. Oh my goodness. So when you watch news on the TV, what kind of channels are you watching? Are they run by the states? Are they?
Yes.
So they are run by the state. Okay. So like all of like the news that you watch is just state ran media.
Yes. Like in Israel.
Are you trolling?
No.
Okay. So,
and
can you agree here that state-run media in Israel or really any country would never report news negative about that country?
Yes.
Okay, you can agree to that. So, so then you'd agree that, like, hypothetically, if Israel was the bad guy, like the news sources that you watch would never say that, and they'd always like feed you propaganda about how Israel's a good guy.
But everything you said, I heard you say we killed innocent children.
Well, no, listen. I want you to listen to me. So you just agreed that you only watch state-run media. And then you agreed that state-run media would never report like bad about the state.
Listen to other people.
So here's my question. Here's my question. Hypothetically, in a world where Israel's the bad guy, not this world, because we love Netanyahu, not this world at all. But in a hypothetical world where Israel really is the bad guy, all right, can you agree that the state-funded media that you consume would be disseminating propaganda to convince you otherwise?
Yes, but it's facts. What they say, it's happened, and I know because I lived here. I live here.
Okay. Do you live at the southern border of Lebanon?
No.
Okay. So you wouldn't know if, like, for instance, the southern border of Lebanon was completely
You know
flattened
that
and
we
ethnically
give them
cleansed by
food.
Israel
You know, no, wait. You know that we give them food.
after
We
you
didn't.
destroy their house, or
We
before you
didn't
destroy their
destroy the
house.
house. You know, you
So do
know
you
what
think that the
happened in
satellite imagery is like
October?
AI?
Wait,
Do you think
you
that all of
know?
like the independent
Yes,
journalists that have gone up there is
yes,
just all fake?
yes. I know it's fake
Okay, do you mind if I ask you how you know that it's fake?
because you can see we didn't do
So,
anything
but
that
you just
they
said that.
didn't.
Have you ever? Okay, when was the last time that you were at the southern border of Lebanon? When was the last time?
Never.
Okay, so then you can't see. When have you had an opportunity to see the southern border of Lebanon?
All they
Just to prove to
say,
yourself that the reporting from literally everybody outside of Israel is false.
you know that there is the people here in Israel that is in our prison that killed here our people, and we don't kill them. We let them live in prison.
Okay, is that before or after the IDF soldiers raped the women, as recorded and
We
documented
never.
with
They
video footage
never
by
do
independent
anything
journalists?
bad to people because
Uh-huh.
our army is not
Yeah.
bad. Okay, you know what they did?
And can you agree that if you did kill somebody, then they wouldn't be in jail?
We didn't. We didn't kill
You did.
anyone.
You didn't kill anyone?
Not the innocent people.
Not the innocent people. So so there's a video of, what was it, a 6-year-old
don't
boy
believe
getting
this with
lit up by 47 bullets from the gun of an IDF
No.
soldier in Gaza.
No.
So clearly you
Listen.
did, the IDF did kill him.
I don't know.
Okay.
You are a
But you just
smart
said that the IDF does
person,
not kill
okay?
innocent
No,
people.
Dean. You are a smart person. I know you are, and I love your videos, and I agree with you about Trump and everything. But how can you believe this? Like, you don't know what happened. You don't know history.
So have you seen that photo that's been
I
wow.
see.
Are you familiar with this photo that's been circulating recently about a stripped and bound detainee by the IDF?
You know they cooked a woman's
Well, one
head
second. Can you answer
in
my
the
question?
oven?
Are you familiar with the photo that's been circulating recently of a person
I don't think
that was
so.
stripped naked and then bound with ties by the IDF?
No, because we didn't do this.
You
okay?
didn't do that.
You
So I
saw
want
the
you to go on
videos
Google.
about
I want
it.
you to
No,
type
wait,
in
but
New
you're
York
familiar-
Times, Israel investigating after photo of stripped and bound detainee is shared. Today, the Israeli military confirmed the authenticity of a photo, which included IDF agents stripping and
I
then
didn't
hog
see this
tying
photo.
a
I don't know, and
Palestinian.
I don't. Wait, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Did you know? Do you know what happened in October?
Do I know what happened in October of last year?
7th October.
Oh, you mean when Hamas went to the film festival in Israel?
Yes.
Was that an act
Yes.
of terror?
Yes.
Okay.
It was.
So it's an act of terror to like kill people in large quantities that are completely innocent.
People. They kidnapped.
So what do you have to say
over
about
200
the
people.
80,000 Palestinian children that have been killed by the IDF?
It's not true.
It's not true.
We don't kill children.
Okay. Well,
not
if it's
innocent
not true that the IDF killed a bunch of kids, then it's not true that October 7th was a terror attack.
What?
We have just as much evidence that Hamas went into
What is
Israel on
it?
October 7th and killed some people,
Terror attack?
as we have
They killed
evidence
innocent
that the
people.
IDF has slaughtered tens of thousands of children in Palestine.
What? Can you say it again?
We have just as much evidence that Hamas went into Israel on October 7th as we have evidence that the IDF has killed tens of thousands of children. I mean, like, both of these
No.
two things are very well documented. October 7th is very well documented, just like the tens of thousands of kids that the IDF has killed is
So you
very well
think-
documented.
And you know that we didn't start the war.
Start the war. Okay. Do you mind if I ask you a
No.
question?
Yes.
What do you think? Like, I'm not justifying it, but what do you think caused Hamas to do October 7th? Why did they do that? Once again, I'm not justifying it, but why did they do that?
They jealous and they think they deserve to be here.
Okay. I would argue, once
Indeed.
again, not justifying October 7th, but maybe they did that because it has something like irrelevant
There is no
to the
maybe they did
Nakba
that.
in the
I
middle of
don't
the
care why
20th
they did it,
century,
but what
where
they
upwards of
what they did is
650,000
terrible.
Palestinians were expelled from their homes in the ongoing occupation of Gaza until the early 2000s. And now, once again, the complete ethnic cleansing and genocide of
Wow.
Palestinians, including the ethnic cleansing of Lebanese at the southern border of Lebanon.
I can what?
What do you mean, what? I thought I was clear at everything I just said.
Say it again, please.
No, I'm sorry. The Zionism virus has rotted your brain too much, Lola. Let's go to get that next guest connected. Kaylee, you are unmuted. Kaylee, do you support Trump?
I'm not sure.
Okay, I think that's a kid. Only opposite side of the call if you do happen to be a Trump supporter, please and thank you, folks. Only opposite side of the call if you do happen to be a Trump supporter, please and thank you, folks. I want to thank a couple people here. Ace, thank you for the $50 on Super Chat, who says, yo, you should listen to Spiritual Cramp Bro. Love their music and their underlying punk tone. I'll make sure I check them out. I appreciate you. That is beyond kind of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate you. And then Samantha, thank you for the $10, who says, never again means never again for anyone. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for the $10. If you're watching the stream and you want to support me, you could find my Venmo and my PayPal in the pinned message. It's just my name, Dean Withers, without the letter E in my last name, Withers. For everybody in the chat saying that my link tree is gone from my TikTok account, it is gone from my TikTok account. That's because, once again, the violation that we got for minor safety. They don't allow minors to put links in their bios. I'm very, yeah, I'm familiar. I am, oh, fuck. Guys. Ooh, I thought that TikTok just about took away my ability to talk to a representative, but I got it again. I'm actually going to reach out to another representative. Hey, I was just on the line with a senior specialist and it disconnected. Can you please reconnect me? I'm gonna reconnect to another senior specialist, another person at TikTok. Because there's like this one specific TikTok employee named Scarlett. I've spoke about her in the past. She's been very, 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 very kind to me, very helpful to me, as well as I know that she knows my age. So I'm thinking if I could get connected to her and then have her submit an appeal on my behalf, that we could actually get the account back, because then it's like the TikTok employee will just be able to say, oh yeah, I know Dean's an adult. So and I think that she works weekdays in the evening. It's a weekday, it's in the evening. I might be able to get connected to her. That's what we're going to try to do. That's what we're going to try to do. Meezy, thank you for the $10 on Super Chat, who says, long time listener, first time donating. Thank you for all that you do, Dean. Well, Meezy, thank you for being here. I'm so happy to have you here. I'm so happy to have everybody here. Wow, that's crazy. We have 10,000 people on YouTube right now. Joshry, you are unmuted. If you just want to unmute yourself, yeah, there you go. Joshry,
how big is it, Ian? How big is it?
You're banned. Fire Hazard 1, you are unserver muted. Unmute yourself on your own end and you'll be good to go. Do tell us if you're a Trump supporter. Same thing with you, Jake. You are also unserver muted. Jake on Fint. What a name. Jake on Fint, do you support Trump? Jake's not here. Fire Hazard's not here. Not Sky X. You're unmuted. Do you support Trump?
Hey, yeah, I do.
How old are you?
18.
Alrighty, why do you support Trump?
Well, right, did my accent fool you? I'm Scottish. I'm sorry, I love you.
Alrighty, see you later. Swag Tonight, you're unmuted. Swag Tonight, do you support Trump? You have to unmute yourself on your end too.
Hello?
Hi, do you support Trump?
I do not support all of his actions, but for most of it, yes.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 18.
What year were you born in?
2008.
Wait, what month?
February 4th.
I don't know. I don't know if I believe you. Are you lying to us about your age?
No.
Okay, why do you support Trump?
So my mother supports Trump currently.
I think that this is a kid. Sorry. Ashley, you are unserver muted. Do you support Trump? You gotta unmute yourself. Alrighty. Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and unserver mute you now. Do you support Trump, Aubrey? You gotta unmute yourself on your end. There you go.
Hello.
Do you support Trump?
I am an independent leaning MAGA.
Ah, geez. Why is that?
I don't really necessarily agree with both sides. I think they both have, their downfalls, and neither of them necessarily advocate for people as a whole, I feel like. Not necessarily
I'm
advocate,
asking you why I'm asking you why you lean MAGA.
Oh, so sorry. I interpreted that wrong. I agree with some of his deportation
Okay.
things.
Okay. So what is one way that Trump's mass deportations over the course of the last year and a half have benefited our country?
I feel like while many innocent people have been hurt by it, a whole lot of bad people have also been, like murderers, people harming the American people.
Yeah, there are more
also
undocumented
been-
immigrants that are guilty of violent crimes that are roaming free in the streets of our country today than there were under the Democrats, because the Democrats deported more undocumented immigrants that were guilty of violent crimes than Trump is today. He has reshifted the focus of ICE from disproportionately undocumented immigrants guilty of bad crimes to any and all undocumented immigrants, including children and parents that are just here to build a better life. For that reason, there are now more undocumented immigrants guilty of those violent crimes that are roaming free.
Really? I had no idea.
Yeah, under Trump, less than 5% of the deportations have been of undocumented immigrants with bad crimes on their records. Meanwhile, under Obama, there's upwards of 20%. So you actually
Really?
agree with the deportation policy more so of the Democrats than of Trump.
Very good information. I had no idea about that. Thank you for educating me. But yeah, that's really the only thing. I mean, since I am mainly independent, would you have anything to say to, I guess, lean me more to the Democrat side?
Yeah, sure. Is it bad to call for the execution of your political opponents in Congress?
Yes, that's
Would you ever
really
support a president who has done that?
No.
Okay, Trump did that. Donald Trump called for the execution of 6 Democrats in Congress, saying that they need to be hung because they called for members of the military to disobey any illegal order if they're given an illegal order from Trump.
That's true. That's true. Yes,
So
I've known about that.
Okay, so then you wouldn't support Trump as president. And on the inverse, I can't think of any Democrat that has called for the execution of their political opponents. So instead of being independent leaning right, this might make you independent leaning left.
Yes, that's very true. You have a point. I agree with that. But also, I feel like Kamala, during her campaign, talking about the last election, during her campaign, her
So that is
social
true.
media
So you're no longer MAGA leaning.
Yes, you've convinced me.
Okay,
5 for
perfect.
5.
5 for 5. Well, hey, listen, I appreciate you for your time. If you're looking for more reasons why just generally the Democrats are better than the Republicans, I'd highly recommend continuing to tune into the live streams, okay?
Perfect, yes. Thank you.
Yeah, you take care. 1 second, guys. I need to go pee. And in order to do so, I need to get Parker in here. But I first just need an invite to the Discord server. I don't understand why I can't just get an invite to the Discord server. Everybody, do give me one moment here while I try to get Parker in the server. There we go. Why does it... It's... I'm trying to... Oh. 1 second, you guys. Parker, are you in the server? Let's see here. Give me one moment, everybody. Oh, Parker is in the server. Here we go. Give me 1 second, you guys. Should be good to join now. If you're not going to join, everybody do give me one moment. I do apologize for the delay, y'all. I do apologize for the delay. There we go. If you join the new channel, I'll drag you. All right, here we go, everybody. We're going to get Parker in here just to cover me for one moment while I quickly use the restroom. There we go. Parker, you should be able to unmute now. There we go. What's up, Parker?
What's up?
Dude, we got another 5-year TikTok ban.
Dude, the minimum age requirement? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Our TikTok streams today and yesterday have both been like an hour.
That's ridiculous, dude.
Yeah, so we're just running...
What's going on with TikTok, bro?
I think that it's intentional suppression and censorship.
Bro, this is crazy.
Yeah.
They did this to me for literally years. And I can't believe they brought it back. Like, I feel like it has to be intentional because it's like the most ridiculous possible ban.
I'm verified. They have my ID on record.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened to me, and I was like, why is this happening? I'm like, they must have changed something on the back end, but there's no way they don't have you like already like in the system to like not ban like that.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah, how could they verify you if you're a minor, bro? That's crazy.
Well, sorry, I'm just typing right now. Let's go to get that next person unmuted. Joseph, you're unmuted. Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Okay, how do you?
28.
All right, and why do you support Trump?
Few reasons. I'll say most notably because he's at least a lot more sane and logical when it comes to policies like DEI and transgenderism, etc.
Okay. Parker, I really appreciate you for being willing to cover me for a moment while I go and use the restroom. I also apologize for everybody for being a bit dry. I'm back to double multitasking with trying to get unbanned. I'll be right back, everybody. Parker, do you have mod powers?
I'm not sure.
Here.
I don't think I do.
All right, I do that by making a roll, right?
Yeah, I would assume so.
Okay, I gave you a role that has literally all permissions.
Yep, I see it now.
Perfect. Okay, for everybody watching, I'll be right back. Parker's going to take over. Go ahead, Joseph.
Yeah, so Joseph, you said DEI policy. So, like, could you name a single DEI policy Kamala Harris supported or the Democrats support that you disagree with?
Well, first, I'll start with something that I think was absolutely insane that Kamala mentioned she wanted to do as part of her presidency, didn't she like want to go into prisons and offer like transgender surgeries to those in prison, like as if that's like super important for whatever reason?
Okay, so are you talking about like in hyper specific circumstances? This is a claim in 2019. She supported in hyper specific circumstances of medical necessity that it to be provided. Would you argue against that? Would you argue that people who where it's medically necessary, it shouldn't be provided?
Well, in what instances would changing your gender be medically necessary?
No, no, no. That the surgery specifically is deemed medically necessary by medical professionals.
But when would that ever? So that the human body wants to survive, right? When is it that it's life threatening or critical that you have to switch genders in order to
Wait,
survive? I
is
think I'm
that to
having
be
trouble.
deemed by you, or is that to be deemed by like a doctor or someone who has like some specific knowledge on the matter?
I mean, I don't think it takes a doctor to um, be able to logically come to the conclusion that you don't need to change genders in order to survive. Am I
No,
just
no.
crazy from
Wait,
that
wait.
from that
I'm sorry.
admission?
Are you thinking that the surgery in of itself is the changing of a gender? Like I'm confused. The surgery in of itself would be deemed medically necessary by a doctor or not. They would have the specific reasons why that in that particular circumstance it might be. But regardless, you could disagree with her on what you deem to be medically necessary care. That's what she's saying is medically necessary care is going to be applied. And if it's applicable to a particular circumstance, well, then obviously that would be true. Now, this isn't something that's federally deemed or something that she had authority over as president or vice president. So why is it a concern when it comes to comparing Trump and Harris for the presidency?
Because okay, so obviously being the president of the United States is the most important job in the entire world, right? So why is it that that's one of her focuses is
I'm sorry.
supporting.
I'm sorry. Do you want me to give you specific circumstances? Donald Trump's focus is consistently about how he thinks prices going up isn't a problem after he claimed that he wanted to bring down prices. Him specifically saying that he wants to stop Iran from getting a nuclear weapon, even though he got them closer to it. Him denying the results of the 2020 election, even though literally 60 plus court cases indicated no sufficient evidence to overturn the election. I mean, do you want to talk about where your side focuses their time on? Because 70% of your side believes in a delusion that Trump won the 2020 election.
Mhm. Well,
Do you
there
not see
was
that as a problem with your priorities? Or like, can you tell me what Trump's healthcare plan is, or child care plan, or housing affordability plan? Either of them?
Well, I mean, if you bring up all those other elements, there was indeed voter fraud. I mean, isn't it a little strange that there were I think hundreds of thousands of ballots that were mailed in days after the counting had already occurred, right? Isn't that a little strange?
They count ballots that are sent in on the day of voting. Okay, the Supreme Court just made a determination that that's the correct way to count them. You're just coping. There's 60 plus court cases that indicated no sufficient evidence to overturn the election. I'm sorry that hurts your feelings that the election results happen that way. Regardless of whether or not it hurts your feelings, it's true that you guys lost. You don't have sufficient evidence of voter fraud to overturn the election. Why do you think that's true?
Um, Well, of course, there's left side propaganda, like you just kind of spewed. However, there is evidence that there was hundreds of thousands of ballots that were mailed in after the fact, and it's also not a coincidence that all of those mailed in ballots happen to be voted for Biden as well. Like, isn't that just a strange coincidence?
You said they were stamped like they were stamped to be sent in after the election day, right? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, they were like mailed in after. I don't know like the exact specifics, but they were like mailed
No,
in
was
after.
it mailed in on election day or not?
Um, I don't know. I don't know the specifics of it, but isn't it
Because if
also a
it was
strange
mailed in by
coincidence that
election day, then that's totally legal.
okay. Well, isn't it a strange coincidence that all of those mailed-in ballots were also all
Oh,
votes for
wait.
Biden as well?
Wait,
Isn't that
wait.
strange?
Are you mad
Parker.
that Democrats typically are going to vote Democrat when it is the case that like you guys after spent like a whole year and a half saying that you should vote in person, that mail-in ballots are fraudulent? That's what Trump did. So what do you expect?
Okay. Well, anyway.
And how did
I don't
Trump vote,
think-
by the way? How did Trump vote?
I'm sorry?
How did Trump vote?
What do you mean?
Like, what process did Trump use to vote in the election?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know. What's the relevance?
He
to it?
voted. He voted by mail.
ballots. Also, Parker,
Okay.
because we're just on YouTube, we could go over the specific complexities of the fake electors scheme without getting banned. For a couple things that I want to. First thing I want to add on here, Joseph. You said that all the mail-in ballots were for Biden. That's not true. It's just a disproportionate majority of the mail-in ballots that were for Biden. And why do you think that could be? Is it maybe because the Democrats were saying that COVID is a deadly virus and you should stay inside? Meanwhile, the Republicans were saying it's no worse than the flu. Fuck mail-in voting. Go outside and go to the voting booths. So therefore, naturally, we would expect more Democrats to want to stay inside and vote from home and more Republicans to want to go outside and vote in person.
Oh, so wait, we want to bring up COVID now. Okay. So if COVID was really as bad as everyone says it was, then why weren't people... Oh, wait, go ahead.
Whoa. You didn't listen to my point. My point had
Okay,
nothing
what
to
was
do
your
with starting a debate about the nature of the pandemic and if it was really that bad, but more so to do with a very powerful explanation of why we would naturally have expected more Democrats to vote with a mail-in ballot in the 2020 election, even in consideration and in the pre-assumption that there was no fraud.
I mean, there's no way to be objective about that statement, though. That's just an observation.
Do you agree? Do you agree that there were more Democrats that took the pandemic more seriously and more Democrats who wanted to stay inside and mask up during the pandemic compared to Republicans? Do you agree?
I don't think that directly lines up with the reason for there being more mail-in ballots.
Could you just agree? Do you agree or do you disagree?
I don't know if I fully agree with that point, to be honest with you.
Okay, so
Is that
the year's
yeah, I don't know.
2021. You see somebody driving a car and they have a mask on inside of the car. Who do you think they voted for?
Wait, say that one more time?
Somebody's driving a car alone, and inside of this car they have a mask on. Who do you think they
Okay.
probably voted for?
Just to clarify, like a mask you would wear for like COVID, for example, right? Not
Yeah,
like a ski
and they're the
mask.
only person in the car, and they have a COVID mask on. Who do you think they probably voted for?
I mean, there's what do you mean? What do you like? I don't know what you mean by that, Dean.
Come on, why don't you answer how you intuitively think?
Yeah, just
be honest.
intuitively think.
I mean-
Who do you think they probably voted for?
I don't think that it's more or less likely to be a Democrat or Republican. I don't know what you're trying to get at here.
Oh, come on, bro. Come on.
Okay,
Come on.
okay,
I think
all
that's,
right,
I think that's
okay.
a ridiculous statement
All
to
right,
try
all
to
right. You
conclude.
see somebody going outside of the peak of the pandemic when there are city ordinance laws that are that are making people stay inside, but they're outside with no mask on and they're wearing a shirt that says "fuck the masks." Who do you think they probably voted for?
I think this is more of a medical debate than it is a
You're
political
a
debate. I don't think
fool. Who do you think?
I don't-
So if somebody's outside during the shutdowns and they have a shirt that says "fuck the shutdowns" and "fuck the masks" because my American liberties and freedoms shall not be abridged upon, who do you think they voted for?
this
Trump
has nothing to
or
do
Biden?
with Democrats or Republicans. It has everything to do with
That is okay. So somebody says the pandemic is bullshit. Fuck the masks. I'm gonna do what I want. Okay. Somebody post that on Facebook. Like, you don't think that increases
Hey,
the
dude,
probability
he
even in the
just has no clue.
slightest that they voted for the right?
He
has
can't
no
make an
clue.
inference, team.
You can't make it inference. He's so bad faith.
No,
This is so
Dean and
dishonest.
Parker,
Joseph, you're
I
just
don't
denying history. Listen.
No.
Was it the Republicans or the Democrats that were criticizing mail-in voting?
That I don't know. I don't know
He
this.
doesn't know. He doesn't know. Are you fucking serious, dude?
Were you just
Come on.
criticizing mail-in voting less than 10 minutes ago?
Can you name one time that the Democrats criticized mail-in voting?
I mean, I can't give you like receipts, but okay. Anyway, can we
I don't
change
think
topics?
there's a
This is
single
ridiculous. This is
example.
ridiculous at this point.
Do you so you can't tell me. You can't tell me if you saw somebody driving a car alone with a mask on, if they're blue or red. You can't tell me if somebody says, fuck the pandemic, I'm not wearing that bullshit ass mask. You can't tell me if they voted for Trump or Biden. And now you can't even tell me if the Republicans criticize mail-in voting more than the Democrats. This is just bullshit. You're so bad faith. And because you're bad faith, I'm going to give you the zinger. Did you know that Trump literally tried to steal the 2020 election?
Well, first of all, I think you're trying to use what's the word for it? You're trying to say, oh, if someone looks a certain way or if they say certain things, they're most likely to lean this way versus that way.
Yes.
I don't think we should argue this.
That is absolutely true. If you saw a let's just say a white woman with blue hair wearing a mask and then her shirt says I love gay people, and she's driving a Subaru Outback in the year's 2021, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say that she probably did not vote for Trump. Okay? There are some cultural aspects that are absolutely politicized. In the same way that culturally, when you see somebody like with an AR-15 thrown over their back and a shirt that says, I'm a true American patriot, they probably voted for Trump. Okay. We know that culturally, if you saw somebody wearing a mask in their Subaru Outback with blue hair and a pride shirt, they probably voted for Biden. There are absolutely cultural aspects of the country that we live in that have been politicized. But listen. My point is that I want you to respond to here. Donald Trump should not be president today because Donald Trump literally tried to rig and steal the outcome of an election.
That's not true. Well,
That
let
is
me
true.
ask you a
He
question.
admitted to it. He admitted to it.
I don't recall him ever admitting
he admitted to the Supreme
trying
Court.
to steal the election.
He admitted to the Supreme Court that he installed false or quote-unquote alternate slates of electors carrying false or alternate votes for him from states that Biden won, saying that Trump won them, into Congress on J6, and then pressured Mike Pence into certifying the fake votes as real to install himself for a second term against the voice and the vote of the public. He's admitted to this in the Supreme Court. In fact, his lawyer that represented him in the case, and is still his personal lawyer today, Will Scharf, publicly spoke about this on news and press inquiries and interviews about their quote-unquote alternate slates of electors.
Hold on, Dean. I just want to take a step back really quick. So since you want to say the way people look or speak or what they wear, etc., that kind of can tell us kind of which way they're voting.
Yeah, that can tell us, yeah.
Okay. Do you think certain races vote certain ways, generally speaking?
97% of black women voted for Biden in the last election.
Okay, so should I just assume all black women then vote for Biden?
Well, it's not an assumption. You know that a vast majority of black women did not vote for Trump in that last election. Yeah, so chances are you see a black woman in public, yeah, you know that they're fucking great. Chances are, yeah. When you see a black woman in public, you should have a goddamn smile on your face, knowing that they didn't vote for the downfall of our nation. But I want you to respond to the points that I made, okay? Specifically about how Donald Trump tried to rig and steal the outcome of the 2020 election. And I got connected to Scarlett. Let's go. We might be back, folks. Parker, would you mind taking it away?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. Go ahead and respond to the points that I made, Joseph.
Well, yeah, I'm just gonna say it's untrue. He didn't admit to trying to steal the election. That's not true. So I don't know what you want me to say.
Yeah, he did. I mean, do you want to engage with the points that he made about the false slates of electors?
He said that he admitted to the courts or something like that, that he admitted to trying to steal the election. Is that the claim Dean made? Something like that?
Yeah, no, Dean just said that he admitted to wanting to send false slates of electors to electoral college to cast Trump votes when we didn't want to try to steal the election. And I mean, he even said this to Mike Pence and tried to get Mike Pence to certify the false slates of electors, which Mike Pence even told us as well by saying that he said that he would always put the Constitution over Trump anytime, that Trump would give him an unlawful order.
I don't believe any of that to
You
be
don't
true.
believe Mike Pence?
No.
The former vice president? What reason would he have had to have lied?
I mean, that I couldn't tell you. I don't know why he would lie or not, but I don't believe that to be true. I don't believe that Trump admitted to trying to steal the election back in 2020.
Okay, so let's just clarify. You don't believe Mike Pence, but you have any reason to not believe Mike Pence? Because he was a Trump-leaning Republican appointed by Trump as the vice president.
Mm-hmm.
He literally could have become president after Trump if he decided to stay.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know the specifics of it, but didn't Pence I don't remember what exactly happened, but I don't know. Anyway, I want to switch topics. I don't even know what we're talking about right now.
We're talking about how your guy tried to undermine the president, or tried to undermine the election. You know, that's what we were talking about.
I'm back.
Well, it's not true, so.
Is the camera? What's happening with the camera, everyone? I don't know. Apparently.
So yeah, he says that he doesn't believe Mike Pence about the fact that Donald Trump told Mike Pence to certify false slates of electors.
Oh yeah, check this out. I'm just gonna go ahead and play you the clip. I'm gonna
real
admit into
votes.
it. So this is Will Scharf. This is going to be Donald Trump's personal legal representation in the 2020 election, doing interviews about the fake elector scheme. Let's listen to this together. You're gonna have to click into my screen share in order to hear it. Do you know how to do that? Joseph, do you know how to do that?
Wait, say it one more time. I'm sorry.
Do you know how to do that? Do you know how to click into my screen share?
Click into your screen share. I don't know, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Is it on YouTube or Discord?
It's going to be on Discord. So you should see, Parker, what does it look like from your end to like click into the screen share? Could you describe it to me?
You'll see like a thing that says live next to Dean's name. Hover over it with your mouse cursor and click watch stream.
Oh, I see.
Okay, are you in?
Yeah, I'm in. Oh,
Okay.
this is CNN, because CNN's going to tell me everything about the truth, right?
Yeah. We don't care about what the CNN anchor is saying. We care about what Donald Trump's lawyer is saying.
Oh, okay.
Let's
I guess
let's
we'll find out.
Let's take a listen together.
Yeah.
Official conduct, the immune acts in the indictment are stripped away, that Jack Smith doesn't have a case, that this case should be dismissed on that basis. I don't think there's sufficient private conduct here to support the indictment, to support the ongoing prosecution. And that's what we're going to be litigating in front of the district court now.
Even just the false slates of electors, you don't think that would constitute enough for a trial?
Well, we would say alternate slates of electors. And as we argued before the Supreme Court, alternate slates of electors have been a method used by previous presidents, most notably Ulysses S. Grant, to ensure the integrity of prior elections. So we believe the assembly of those alternate slates of electors was an official act of the presidency. That's what we argued before the Supreme
God.
Court. The Supreme Court.
So let me be clear on what he just admitted to. The false or quote-unquote alternate slates of electors, okay, were fake electors that the Trump administration sent to the Capitol on J6 with fake votes from states that they did not in all actuality represent, claiming that they were real votes. And then he pressured Mike Pence into certifying them, as Mike Pence said, and as Parker just said moments ago. And you can't deny it. Because not only did I just play and show you a clip of Donald Trump's lawyer admitting to it, because it's their argument in court, or those court filings are public record, he also called it an official action of Trump's presidency, so we know ultimately Trump is responsible. And you could literally see the fake votes. You could see them on the National Archives. There was conversation between people on Capitol Hill and the individual states about these fake votes.
Well,
And
come
it's
on,
all
okay.
public record. So how do you feel? How do you feel after watching a clip of Donald
Dean,
Trump's lawyer admit to it?
Dean, you literally pulled up a clip of CNN,
Yeah.
the most anti-Trump
Wait, that's just where the
TV
interview
show.
happened.
Bro, we don't like
What's up?
we're not listening
That's
to
just where the
Caitlyn.
interview happened. What was relevant was
Yeah.
what he said.
Yeah,
not
listen.
that it was on CNN.
I didn't play you a clip of Miss CNN Caitlyn Collins over here just saying that this is the truth. I played you a clip of Mr. Will Scharf, Donald Trump's past and present lawyer, admitting it's the truth. We don't care about Caitlyn Collins. We don't care about the logo in the corner. We care about what this guy over here, Will Scharf, said.
Well, if Will Sharp was doing the same interview on Fox, it would have been spun completely differently, of course. Of course, now that he's on CNN,
It's not about how it's
of
spun.
course
It's
they're
about
going to
what
portray
this
it.
particular thing that he said means.
I'm sorry?
It's not about how it's spun in the media. We're not talking about how it was spun in the media. We're talking about what he said and what that implies.
Well, you know what? I'll do this. Do you want to play it back? Play back like 30 seconds of it?
Yeah.
Good idea.
Official conduct, the immune acts in the indictment are stripped away, that Jack Smith doesn't have a case, that this case should be dismissed on that basis. I don't think there's sufficient private conduct here to support the indictment, to support the ongoing prosecution. And that's
Even
what we're
just the
going to be
false slates
litigating
of
in front of the
electors?
district court now.
Even just the false slates of electors, you don't think that would constitute enough for a trial?
Well, we would say alternate slates of electors. And as we argued before the Supreme Court, alternate slates of electors have been a method used by previous presidents, most notably Ulysses S. Grant, to ensure the integrity of prior elections. So we believe the assembly of those alternate slates of electors was an official act of the presidency. That's what we argued before the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has reserved that issue for determination by the district court, and we'll see how arguments fall in front of the district court.
Yeah, we've walked through those historical references here before. None of them compare to what we saw in 2020 with the fake slates of electors. But Will Scharf.
President Trump is.
There you go.
Well, he doesn't say anything about the fake slate of electors like the host does. He says
He just calls them alternate. There's no, dude.
Yeah,
There's,
alternate.
yeah. Guess what? There's no such thing as presidentially controlled alternate slates of electorates for states. An alternate slate of electors controlled by the president is a false slate of electors because the president does not control the electors from a state. The governor controls the electors from a state.
Well, let's also read into the claim that he states that this has been a method used by prior presidents as well.
Yeah,
how is it
that's
that
not
we're
true.
just now?
That's
Go
not
ahead.
true. B, if it was true, that just means that another president before Trump, Ulysses S. Grant, during the Civil War, tried to rig an election as well. It's not saying that therefore Trump didn't try to rig an election. It just means during the Civil War, Mr. Grant tried to rig an election. Okay, so do you accept, therefore, that Trump did try to rig an election? Because there's no such thing as an alternate slate of electors that is controlled by the president.
Well, Dean, it actually sounds like to me that you're trying to pick and choose what you think is true and what is not true. That's what it sounds like to me.
Okay, so what am I picking and choosing specifically?
So you're picking and choosing that it's true that Trump used a slate of slate of alternate electors. My apologies. But then you're also not choosing to believe that this has been something that's been used by prior presidents as well. So you're kind of picking and choosing what you want to hear from his attorney.
No, I'm just saying that it's not true that's what Ulysses S. Grant did. I understand that's what he tried to argue, but it's not true. But you didn't listen to the last thing I said there. Because I said, even if we assume that was true and we believe every single little thing his attorney said, well, then this doesn't mean that Donald Trump didn't try to rig an election. It just means that some other president during the Civil War also tried to rig an election.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't think we're going to get anywhere with this.
Okay, so do you accept that he tried to rig an election?
No, I'm going to.
Okay. So why don't you believe his lawyer?
Well, it sounds like you believe certain things that he says, and then you just choose not to believe certain things that he says as well, which I kind of find strange. So
I just said, if we accept everything that he said as being truth, then Donald Trump still tried to rig an election. Why can't you respond to that?
So if that is all true, what he said, then how is it that we're just now finding out that a president has tried to rig an election, but this has somehow been something that's been covered up for many, many years now? By
it hasn't
prior
been covered up
presidents.
for
How's
many
that
years.
possible?
The video that I played you, look at it. The video that I played you was 2 years old.
Okay.
Like this isn't new at all.
Okay. Well, I don't think we're going to get anywhere with this topic.
Why not? Why don't you believe what his lawyer said?
Because you can't even believe half the stuff that he's saying. So
But
how am
I told
supposed to-
you we accept everything that he said is true, then it's still true that Donald Trump tried to rig an election. Why don't you believe what his lawyer said?
Because I also find it very very hard to believe that Donald Trump's lawyer. So you're trying to conclude as well that alternate electors means the same thing as false electors. So
Yes.
why I don't understand how I find it hard to believe.
Wait. Alternate electors controlled by the president are the same thing as false electors. Yes. That is true. That claim is absolutely true. Yes.
Okay.
Would you like to know why?
Okay, why? Educate me, Dean.
Because the federal government does not control elections. States do. So every single time there's a general election, each state's governor selects 2 slates of electors if the race is close, and 1 slate of electors if the race is not close. When the race is not close, they take the total tally of the vote from the election in that state, and they send it with their official slate of electors to the Capitol to then cast all of their electoral votes for that candidate on J6. If the election is close, they'll send the main slate of electors with the outcome of the election as it is, where one candidate is barely leading the other, to give them their electoral votes. But they will also send an alternate slate of electors with a total vote count that says the alternate candidate won, if there happens to be additional votes counted in the time that it takes those electors to get to the Capitol that then swayed the outcome of the election. Okay, well, for all those 7 key swing states, it was a blowout for Biden. And by the way, these slates of electors were not assembled when the races were close or even after the vote tallies were finished. Or before the vote tallies were finished, they were assembled after the vote tallies were finished. But still yet, these alternate slates of electors were not sent with any true vote tally from the state as ordained by the governor's office, but rather unilaterally controlled by the president. And it's the controlled by the president part that makes them fake. And the whole not actually representative of the vote from the state that makes them fake. Because even after the states had their real slates of electorates there with the real vote count, Donald Trump was still pressing for Congress to accept his fake slates of electorates with the fake vote counts.
You know what, Dean? I'll concede to your point only for this next point.
I don't want a concession that's contingent on anything outside of you acknowledging that it's true.
You know what, Dean? If this is all true, then I wish they would have pushed harder on the alternate electors, because the 4 years we had to deal with Biden and Harris for was the worst 4 years ever.
Oh my God! So you're just saying that you wish that Trump would have been successful in stealing the election?
And you wish that they rigged the election? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, if that means he would have got the presidency over Biden and Harris, because that was a terrible 4 years. So.
Oh damn! So would you be okay with Democrats from like the alternative perspective thinking the same thing?
You're a fucking traitor.
Yeah, he's also an autocrat.
You're a traitor.
So you don't believe in democracy, right?
You're a traitor to this country.
That's not what I said.
That is what you said.
That's why he relies on, Dean. That's why he relies on denying elections and destroying the trust in the institution of elections. because he doesn't even believe in them in the first place.
Yes, you don't even believe in elections in the first place. You disagree with the suggestion of democracy is the foundation of this nation. You are a traitor to this country. You are
No.
legitimately a traitor to America.
You're going too far, Dean.
I'm not
I'm just
going
trying to
too
get-
far. I'm not going too far. If you legitimately think that you wish Donald Trump would have ended American elections, gone against the voice and the vote of the American people, and installed himself as an autocrat, you are absolutely a traitor. A fucking treacherous scum.
Hey, I haven't called you one name this whole time. What's up with the name calling?
And I haven't denied democracy in this conversation. What's up with the name calling? Oh yeah, if you said Hail Hitler and I called you a Nazi, that wouldn't be me getting one over on you by calling you a mean name. That would be me accurately describing truth as it is. The same way when you say that you wish Donald Trump would have cooed the 2020 election, cooed our government, ended our democracy, and installed himself as an autocrat, and I call you a treacherous scum, I'm not calling you a mean name. I'm simply describing reality in the way in which it is.
No, I think you're going a little bit too far. I think that Biden and Harris had maybe the worst 4-year run as presidency, maybe in the history. And so all I'm saying is anything
Name one
that
policy they passed that you disagree with.
DEI specifically.
Wait, name one specific policy they passed.
I don't know.
No fucking way, bro. No fucking way. What do you mean? What do you mean it was the worst 4 years? You don't even know what they did that was bad.
You think their administration was so bad that you wish Trump ended our democracy and installed himself as an autocratic king. But then you
But he
can't
doesn't
even name
know
one
the
policy they
policies
passed that you
that he
disagree
disagrees
with.
with the Democrats on. Yeah. You can't name any specific policy.
I think
It was so terrible, actually. Okay.
Hey, you guys are do you guys support DEI?
Do you support
are you,
not
like,
being an
actually,
absolute
like,
fucking idiot?
You don't know any policies that you're referencing. All you know is buzzwords. DEI?
Yeah.
Well, do you guys support DEI? Answer the question.
Hey, I have a question. Is your entire social media just Twitter?
Yes, that's the only thing I use. Yep.
Yeah, I could tell.
Oh. Oh, do you guys? Well, answer the question. Do you all support DEI?
Yes, DEIA. So do you.
So you support?
Do you support any DEIA policies? Like for example, do you support policies to help out people who are disabled to be able to get into public spaces?
And also, just as a shorthand answer, yes, I do support DEI. But answer
Yeah.
Parker's
Well,
question,
so like,
please.
are you asking me if I support the ADA, the Americans with Disabilities Act? Yes, I do.
So that's a form of DEIA.
Okay.
So you support DEIA?
I guess I suppose I support a portion of it, not all of it.
Okay. Well, I mean, isn't that technically everybody?
What do you mean?
Almost everybody would say that.
Okay,
They
so
would
do you say the
support-
same
they
thing?
would- Yeah, I think that you could say that there are probably some policies you wouldn't agree with, and then there are other policies that you would agree with, depending
Okay.
on the policy. Now,
So do we actually agree on something?
well, the issue is that you don't even know what you disagree with the Democrats on. So I think
Okay.
that's what I'm just trying to establish a baseline here, because
No.
like, what specifically do you disagree with the Democrats on? Because right now you're saying that you'd rather support a guy that would end our democracy, right? Just for someone you disagree with that you can't even mention what you disagree with them on.
No, I think what you guys do is you pick and choose different things that you hear, and then you manipulate it in a way to try to get your guest to concede to something that doesn't even make any sense.
How did we manipulate you?
No, I mean, you all take parts of certain conversation or certain snippets of certain videos or conversations to your favor, but then don't take everything into consideration.
Give us a specific example.
Our conversation from like 10 minutes ago.
What about it?
Anyway, I've been on here for quite some time. I'm gonna let someone else come up here and debate you guys. 'cause I
So
don't
I'm
think
not
we're
going to get an
anywhere.
answer.
No, because I don't feel as though we're being productive here.
How so?
Because again, you all like to pinpoint to certain things that work in your agenda, but then leave out things that are kind of against your agenda.
Yeah, that's a lot of yap and a lot of words for I'm a coward and I'm going to run away because I have no specifics to be able to say I disagree with Democrats on.
Okay.
That's a lot of words. A lot of yap to not acknowledge the truth.
Okay. Sure. Okay. Parker, where are you from, man?
Los Angeles.
Okay. How
What
about
about you?
this? You say I want to run away. Let's do a
Where are you
debate.
from?
Let's do a debate in person. I'm in San Diego.
I wouldn't get within a fucking 5,000-mile radius of you voluntarily.
Okay. Dang, I'm that bad. Okay. Jeez. What makes you say that?
Why do you want to meet me in person, bro? Who
Well,
are
you say
you?
I'm trying to run. You say I'm trying to run away from this conversation.
Yeah, you're gonna leave an online debate to try to then debate me in person where you'd have to drive multiple hours to be able to do so?
Yeah,
Please
why not?
explain to me how that makes any damn sense.
Okay. Well, you said I'm trying to leave and run away, so I'm just trying to.
Yeah, so yeah, the conversation we're having right now.
Okay, right now. Just like how
I mean, dude, you literally believe in undermining our democracy. Okay?
You know what's funny about this?
Right? Like, do you think I want to be in the same room as you, bro?
You know what's funny about this? Like, you guys think that you like win all these debates, but
Dude, you've got cooked
Parker,
by basic questions.
Parker, every time I think when you debated what's his name, Charlie Kirk, when you debated Charlie, like you thought you were destroying him every time, but Charlie was really destroying you the whole time.
Can you name one point that he beat me on?
Yeah, like every single point.
Name one specific point.
When you all were talking about transgenders.
Yeah, what about it?
Oh, and what is
What
as
about
well?
trans people?
And pro-choice versus pro-life.
Okay, don't pivot. What about trans people?
He clearly told you. He clearly explained to you what a man versus what a woman is.
No, he didn't. He said you're looking at one because he couldn't define it.
Okay.
Did you watch the same clip as we did?
Yes.
Because he clearly couldn't define what a man was. Because remember, it's not just XY chromosomes, because God the Father, prior to incarnation, does not have XY chromosomes, yet he still referred to him using he, him pronouns. So if it's solely biologically related, well then how could you use it to refer to a non-biological entity? That makes no damn sense. So what the logical conclusion of that is that you're using it in a social context. So he actually got cooked, and you didn't even understand that yourself.
No, I disagree.
You on what? Explain why.
So, can you define what a woman is for me?
Yes, an adult human person that's committed towards the social and cultural norms typically associated with the female sex is a prescription of their gender identity. Could you tell me what you think a man is?
Yeah, I would say just what Charlie said. XY chromosome.
XY chromosomes?
Yeah.
Okay. So, are you Christian?
Actually, no, I'm not.
You're not?
No, I would actually consider myself atheist, to be honest with you.
Oh, so you disagree with Charlie? So you think I destroyed him on the part about Christianity?
Not necessarily, because you kept. So what you like to do, Parker, is you
Right,
don't like
no,
to.
we don't have to move. We don't have to move on from your definition.
You don't
I would love
like to
go over
let
your
people
definition.
speak. I think what you were doing is you were cutting him off a lot, and you don't like to let people speak. So I think that's
No, I was
how you
controlling the
speak on the
conversation.
debate.
I think that you've had the ability to speak in this conversation. I don't think that you've had an issue, right?
No, but that's just sometimes when you get beat in a debate, you like to over talk. You like to talk over people when you're getting beat in a debate, and so I
So
think
I
that's
must
what
not
was
be
happening.
losing right now, then, right?
Yeah, so do you accept that you're not losing right now? Okay. I mean, no, seriously, do you?
Okay.
No, seriously, answer the question. Do you accept that you're not losing right now?
I don't think I'm losing.
I'm not losing right now.
Oh, yeah, sorry, that
I don't-
Parker's not losing right now.
I don't think he's losing, but I don't think you all are absolutely crushing me as it pertains to a debate.
Yeah, we got you.
But I'm
We
letting you
got you to
speak.
concede to her point. We got you to
Yeah.
concede to the point. But anyways, I'm actually gonna kick you. Just know that you're fucking you're traitorous scum. Legitimately, I think that you're an incredibly dangerous person. You shouldn't be allowed to vote. You should definitely lose some of your civil liberties, like the ability to act in accordance with the functions of our democracy, 110%. Yeah, and I think that you're a pill-brained idiot. Okay.
Hey, well, I appreciate that, Dean.
I mean it. I mean it. Dude said that he would support Trump trying to rig and steal an election. Folks, good news. After 2 hours of back and forth with TikTok, I finally got the account back. Bad news, we're already at 4 hours, so we're going to end for the day.
That is brutal, Dean. That is brutal. What can I say, bro?
I don't know, Parker.
You had a good YouTube stream, at least.
Yeah, I just... There's something intentional about this. And let me describe to you and everybody else watching what I mean when I say that. The first TikTok representative that I spoke with today after getting the ban told me that there's nothing they could do, and I just have to be reliant on the appeal process that I'm given when I receive the ban. That is lengthy, and in many scenarios it will take a year or just completely be ignored in order to go through. Then the second time I spoke with a TikTok representative today, they then told me that, well, there is something they could do. They could personally appeal the case, but their moderators were not confident that I was over the age of 18 and the appeal was rejected. Then the third time, which is now for the last 45 minutes, I've been talking to a TikTok representative by the name of Scarlett. Scarlett is a fan of the show. She watches us frequently, and she is amazing. She was able to get the ban overturned. What this tells me, what this seems to tell me, is that the other representatives knew there was a way to get this restriction overturned, but they didn't do it intentionally. And it took me getting a representative who was like genuinely on my side here, in my corner, metaphorically speaking, to do something about it. And that makes me think that this is much more than just an accident with our auto moderation systems, and much more in line with something intentional. It seems conspiratorial. As Elizabeth just said in the chat, it seems really conspiratorial. What do you make of it, Parker?
Yeah, I get you there. I get you there. I feel like I've done the same. I feel like that makes sense, and I felt the same way with TikTok countless times in the past.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So I wouldn't put that past what could have happened.
Yeah. Also, we didn't get to really celebrate this at all today because of the events of the day, but we did hit 800,000 subs on YouTube.
That's fucking crazy, bro.
I know, and we're already at like 803,000. Unironically, I think that the TikTok ban has been boosting the fuck out of our YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, bro.
Yeah. No joke. No joke. And I'm also so happy that we have the Discord set up, so it we could still get debates. Here, I have a couple people to thank here. Morgan, thank you for the $50 on Venmo. Says, look into I'm Chris Mangos on TikTok. The same age restriction thing has been happening to him for months now, too. Yeah, bro. I kind of feel bad for, like, smaller creators that don't have as easy access to, like, TikTok employees that are in their corner that are struggling with similar shit. You know, I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky that I at least have someone in my corner. And I'll definitely make sure to check Chris out. Thank you for the $50, Morgan. Let's get 500 Morgan W's. Jess with a $10 says, I was just talking to my mom about how you're age restricted again. And my mom made a great point saying, what if it's Trump or somebody on his team trying to take him down? Oh, yeah. Great point. Great point. Rylan with a $10 says, my aunt chose to have a late-term abortion because her organs were growing faster than her bones, and she would die before birth or slowly suffocate for up to 2 weeks and then die then. It's so important that abortions at any stage stay legal. I could not agree with you more. Jay, thank you for the $1. I would consider that. Sabrina, thank you for the $10. I appreciate you, Sabrina. Bridget, thank you for the $5. Melody with the $5. I would love to make you a mod on YouTube. If you're still here, you should drop a comment in the stream. Janae with the $10 says, what about Instagram lives too? The reason why I don't stream on Instagram is because if I get an infraction on the live stream, then it actually punishes the entirety of my Instagram account. The stakes are too high. It happened before. I had zero reach on my on my Instagram account for 3 years because of it. Timothy, thank you for the $20 on Venmo. Says, hey, Dean. Hey, Timothy. I appreciate you. You're awesome. Thank you. Couple of people to thank over on PayPal real quick. Thank you, Mary, for the $5. She says, I admire your innate intelligence, but more than ever, I just love your plain human decency. Love you. Love you too, Mary. Thank you so much. DMC Darkside, thank you so much for the $30. Who says, I'm curious, do you ever discuss broader political issues like the role of Congress and the impact of individual Congress members in Congress have on shaping policy? Or do your conversations mostly focus on Trump and MAGA? So they mostly focus on Trump and MAGA, but that has second order reciprocal effects on the way that people vote in midterms. So it's, kind of hitting on both of those two points at the same time. As well as Clay, and thank you for the $10. Who says, Dean, the TikTok shenanigans have given you a rare opportunity to engage with the elusive anti-democracy rot of MAGA. Should we ask him what George Washington would do with him? Yeah, I know. I was actually considering it, Clinton. Now that we're rid of TikTok's abusive TOS, yeah, I could ask him if George Washington would have fucking killed him. Would have literally killed him. As well as Annabelle with the $5. By the way, that is true. George Washington literally would have killed the last guest on our stream. He would have pointed a musket at his goddamn face and blown his head off for what he said to us. I'm not even joking. Mary, thank you for the $5. I appreciate you so much. Dennis with the $10. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Dennis. Dana and Annabelle, thank you guys for the $5. And Celeste, thank you so much for the $100. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for that love, Celeste. Let's get 1,000 Celeste W. Celeste with $100 says, hey, Dean, I had no idea YouTube's grabby hands took from my past donations. Oh yeah, bro. It's like 60%. Now what the fuck, another ban so shady? You're rattling the cages and the rats are seething. It means you're making waves and minds are changing. Love from Seattle from Celeste. Well, thank you so much for the $100, Celeste. You are fantastic. Quentin, thank you for the $5. Ab, who says, my AP language arts class, watch your streams and debates every day during free hours. Whoa, your voice never goes unheard. Love you, Dean. That is actually insane, Quentin. That is awesome. Tell your class I said, hey, Quentin, seriously. Abby, thank you for the $10. Caroline, thank you for the $10. Aubrey, thank you so much for the $15 saying I'm sorry for what's going on TikTok. It's okay. We'll get through it. And then over on Super Chat, Gravid, thank you for the $20. It's good to see you today, by the way, my friend. Moosh with the €10 says, the left is silencing us. Meanwhile, the shit that happens to people on the left every day. Dude, so fucking true. So fucking true. Freddie with the $10 says, I fucking hate you, YouTube. Freddie. Hope you're all right. Tree the King with the $10 says, from his voice, I can make a firm assumption that he's probably a white supremacist that thinks he's brilliant. Tree's talking about the last guest. I saw your dono when you sent it. I would actually have loved to ask him about his thoughts on black people, because I agree with you. He probably was a proud white supremacist. Gravid with the $20 says, these callers and my racist freaking boss have convinced me being black, being a birthright citizen, and dealing with all this bullshit. Watching establishment dims allow this. I'm a socialist, bro. I don't trust it anymore. Well, here's what I'd say, Gravid. Very similar to yourself. I'm against the establishment Democrats. I advocate for more progressive voices, including some of the socialist progressive voices, such as Zohran Mamdani. But like that alone doesn't mean that you have to be a socialist. You could also just be a progressive social democrat, for instance. Just throwing that out there. Alrighty. And then thank you so much, DJ with a $13 who says, thank you for all that you do. Well, happy birthday, DJ. Show some love to Angelica. That's DJ down below in that comment section. Pumpkin King, thank you for the 10. Meezy with the 10 says, long time listener, first time donor. Thank you for all that you do. Well, thank you. And with that being said, we are all caught up. We are at 4 hours, folks. We're going to be ending the stream for the day here. Really disappointing stream today and yesterday with getting shut down by TikTok. One thing I will say is I want everybody to really consider what we did here today, because it was really powerful. We changed the minds of every single Trump supporter we debated except for one. Every single one of them, except for one person. That's powerful. That's powerful. Parker, are you still with us?
Dude, I was speaking. I was just muted. I was like, dude, that's crazy. I was like, could you imagine saying that to yourself like literally a year ago? That's fucked, bro.
I know. It's really insane. And I guess that's, it puts me in a good mood. I'm in a good mood because of how many minds we changed. Parker, are you going live?
Yeah, I'm about to hop on right now. I appreciate you, man.
I'm going to send you the meatiest fucking YouTube raid ever, bro.
Okay, bro. Okay, bro. I'll see you then. Have a good rest of your night, bro. What time do you plan to go live tomorrow?
I'll let you know over text. Do you actually...
All right, for sure.
Do you want to stay on until like you're literally ready to hit the go live button, so then when you leave, I know I could just send everybody over?
Oh, I'm already literally clicking it like right now.
Perfect. See you, Parker.
All right, I'll see you right now.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Alrighty, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and end. You heard it from Parker. He's still going to be on. Head over to @Parker, get a job on YouTube, and show him some love. I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully with a full 4 hours on TikTok, unlike today and yesterday with only 2. Peace, love, good night, and goodbye.